Good morning.
See if everything is going okay, and if I'm in any pain, the guy is unbelievably wonderful. I mean, thank you so much. I wouldn't have been able to eat. I wouldn't have been able to go. I would have looked like a pumpkin.
Everybody needs a great dentist, and of course, for you Steve Kane listeners, you have one, Dr. Gupta, and he's been over there.
What's happening?
He takes really good care of you. He's very conscientious. Dentistry is an art when you stop and you think about it. And Dr. Gupta certainly is an artist, and we're so pleased to have him with us.
Yeah, I just wanted them to know if you need a dentist, and the guy is so good at what he does, he's so gentle, and I mean, I don't like dentists. This guy is this top shelf, and I'm going down to him to get it permanently put in, but right now, I don't have any pain. I can eat anything I want. Incredible.
Take Richie the bus driver's advice and go see Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental. Call 954-922-4633. 954-922-4633. Hi, this is George Corey of the Soul Authority. In this time of social distancing and sheltering in place, many people have been forced to neglect their feet. We at the Soul Authority are making it possible for you to still take care of your feet while remaining in your home, as we will send a doctor to your house for all of your podiatric
Welcome.
needs.
Good morning.
Part of all is that Medicare pays for this visit. So, if you're a Medicare recipient, give the Soul Authority a call today at 954-597-7060. That's 954-597-7060. Don't let social distancing stop you from taking care of your feet. Call the Soul Authority today.
My mother-in-law made me a mask. I'm not wearing it, but I just brought it in to show you guys. It's a Star Wars mask. Can you see me wearing this? I don't think so. I just brought it in to show you guys. Yeah. You'd wear it? I'm like Trump. Without the $10 billion.
The Steve Kane Show. To call the show.
Yes. All right. Welcome to the program, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. It's Monday already. Can you believe it? This is Florida's longest-running radio show, the Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. It's the 6th of April as we count down to the end of the 30 days so we can get the country up and running come May 1st. Welcome, everyone. So much to talk about. So much happening. Had a very bizarre conversation with Steve Kane this morning about this captain of the Roosevelt that was fired. Steve thinks he shouldn't have been fired. I don't know. Steve must have been watching CNN or MSDNC over the weekend. I'm not sure what it was, but I don't know what he's thinking. But there's so much to talk about, so much great news going on. How was all of your weekend? I was out yesterday, and it was busy everywhere I went yesterday on Sunday. Oh, man. I couldn't believe how many people were out yesterday. People here have cabin fever. We have beautiful weather, and to stay inside with such beautiful weather, I think, is very difficult for people in Florida. I want to remind everyone that all of the Steve Kane Show sponsors are open for business. That's right, so keep all that in mind and continue to patronize our sponsors. We certainly appreciate that. They do as well, but all of the Steve Kane Show sponsors open for business. And I think we're going to see more and more things opening up sooner rather than later. It's just people don't like to be cooped up, especially in this beautiful weather that we are having right now. Man, was the weather great over the weekend? It was just wonderful. I went to the beach on Saturday morning. If you follow me on YouTube, I went down to the beach to catch the sunrise Saturday morning. Got the sunrise Saturday morning on the beach. I went to Deerfield Beach, where they have the pier, which is a really nice place. So you can go check out my YouTube video there. Well, listen, all kinds of great things going on so far as getting out of this situation. Really, I mean, it's absolutely amazing, and it's great news. And of course, the left and the media are going to be very upset when Trump reopens the country, which there's a major move by him to do that now. when he reopens the country, you know the Democrats are going to fight. They want keep it closed, keep it in your house. The government checks will be coming, and we'll take care of you. You know, and the media, of course, it's going to be a fight. You're going to have one side that wants to open up the country, the Trump side, and then the media and the Democrats who want everyone under house arrest forever. Because if you never leave your house, you will never get sick. You will never become injured, and things will be fine. But that's just not going to happen. I can tell by listening to President Trump that he is doing a lot of things to open the country back up on the 1st. They're very upset. I'm going to play this message to the president that Jake Tapper had after the first break today, and we'll go through this. Jake Tapper has lost his mind. Jake Tapper used to be a good guy. Before Jake Tapper went to CNN, he was with ABC News, and he followed Senator Obama around on the campaign trail, and then he was at the White House with Obama. And I used to like Jake Tapper because he would always ask the same question whenever he was called on. When is the last time Senator Obama smoked a cigarette? And then it morphed into, when is the last time President Obama smoked a cigarette? He would ask this question all the time, Jake Tapper, and the answer was always the same. It was either weeks or 3 months ago. And I like that he asked that question, and it was a relevant question and an interesting question. But since he went over to CNN, he's gone down the tubes, Jake Tapper. So he put out a plea to the president live on CNN. I guess he's trolling the he's trying to get Trump to turn the channel over to CNN. But we'll go through that, and we'll play that after the first break. Got a lot of other sound bites, too. The left have lost their minds. You know, I watched President Trump's press conferences over the weekend, which are always great. We're so lucky that he comes out every day pretty much and talks to us and tells us what's going on. But over the weekend, the reporters were very upset with President Trump that he said he will not be wearing a mask. And I didn't come up with this on my own. I saw an article this morning in Breitbart, and I tweeted it. And Breitbart made a very good point. They said... now, let me pull up the headline. Let me get the headline because it was a good one. Instead of me paraphrasing it. Hold on. Let me look it up here. It's on my Twitter. I want to get the headline right because they said it exactly right. Let me see here. Let me see. Live radio, people. Live radio. We're very laid back here on the Steve Kane Show. Hold on. I'm looking. Now watch. I won't be able to find it after all this, and it'll be anticlimactic as well. Oh, yeah. Here it is. Here's the headline on Breitbart. Reporters without masks grill Trump about not wearing a mask. Yeah, that's right. And then that was Saturday, and then yesterday they were going after Fauci for it. And now why do you think reporters do not want to wear masks? I know why Trump doesn't. You know, President Trump doesn't want to wear a mask because he doesn't think that's the message to send to the American people. He wants people to be calm. He doesn't want people scared. And if the president is terrified and always has a mask on, that sends a message. But why do you think the White House press corps is not wearing masks? Why will they not wear masks, the White House press corps, even though they think it's terrible that Trump won't? It's a pretty easy one. Pretty easy answer. Why will the White House press corps not wear masks? I'll tell you why. It's pretty simple. I'm not going to troll for calls for 20 minutes. And if the first call gets it right, a lot of people on the radio do this. They'll do an online or an on-air poll with callers. First, second caller gets the answer right. They'll pretend they didn't and make up another answer. And I don't like to troll for calls that way. But the reason the White House press corps grilling Trump for not wearing a mask, while they are not wearing a mask, the reason the White House press corps will not wear masks is because they want people to see their faces on television. And if they have a mask on, you won't be able to see their beautiful face. That's exactly why. That's exactly why. They're vain. They're vain people. They're all trying to go viral with their ridiculous questions. I liked the guy yesterday. I don't know who he was with. I wish they would identify themselves. You know, it's such an inside thing. Trump knows who they all are. They know who one another are. And when I'm watching these White House press briefings, I don't know who a lot of these people are. I mean, I know who the ones from the big networks are. But these other guys in the back, I rarely know who they are. Do you guys know who any of them are? And I remember the days when they would identify themselves. Sometimes if Trump doesn't know, he'll ask them, who are you with? Who are you with? And then they'll say, okay, he just wants to know. But one guy yesterday wants the White House to send out an order to shut down all the grocery stores. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. Yeah, we could just run low on food at home. Yeah, let's shut down the grocery stores. That's smart. Let's shut down all the places that have the vital supplies. But through this entire coronavirus pandemic that we're living through in this country, the major difference between the left and the right, and the left includes the media, and the right is Trump, all right? The major conflict you see in these press conferences is that President Trump is leaving it up to the states to decide what to do so far as shutdowns, close downs, and a bunch of other things, if you notice that, and they can't handle it. Why don't you have a uniform order that tells everybody in every state what to do? And Trump tells them the same answer every day. States are different. Things are worse in some states than others. Some states have a problem here, they have a problem there, but the rest of the states not that bad. We got to leave it up to the people, and they go, oh no, but we need a uniform. So the left are very upset that there has not been a mass order from the White House bossing all the states around and taking everything over. And if we would have a Democrat, any Democrat, we certainly would have that. And if we had any other Republican, other than Trump as president, they would have caved to the pressure and have all these federal orders telling us where we can and cannot go and what we should do, and it'll be a big order from Washington because that's how, the Republicans always cave. Trump stands up to them. One of the biggest frustrations the left have with President Trump is they can't intimidate him into caving ever. It drives them nuts. All right, it's 15 minutes after the hour. Let's take a call, then we'll take a break, and then we'll get into Jake Tapper with his message to President Trump. Good morning. You are on the radio. What's your name?
Hey, Brian. Good morning.
Yeah, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Bill from Coral Springs.
Hey. All right.
Hi. The reason the president doesn't wear a mask, I think he's taken hydroxychloroquine.
Well, he said over the weekend that he was going to talk to his daughter, He was going to talk to his doctors. He was going to talk to his doctors about taking it, as a preventative measure, like you're saying. But he didn't say. I think that the president and the cabinet and the leaders and even Fauci, I think they're all taking it or something because they're interacting too much. They're sharing a microphone. They're up on that little stage in that little room. And they're the ones that are running the entire government through this crisis. So they've got to be doing something up there or they wouldn't be sharing microphones and interacting that way. Okay, well, no, it's something. Okay, that's a good one. Yeah, if you go on YouTube, you guys can see my mother-in-law actually made everyone in the family a mask, and she made me a mask, which I'll put on and show people during the break. But I don't know, let me put it on now and see if I can talk on it. Okay, I've got the mask on now. It's a Star Wars face mask, a custom-made Star Wars face mask. But I think I sound the same on the air with it. I thought it would change my voice. Okay, now this is me with the mask on. Now I'm going to take the mask off in a moment. Let me know if I sound muffled with it on, okay? So this is mask on, mask off. Do I sound the same now? This is mask off, and this is mask on. I think I sound a little different with the mask on. A little muffled. But I really don't need to wear a mask. I'm in a sound booth, studio control room, all alone. So I'm all by myself, and I'm in my sound booth. And when Steve gets here, I've got the sound booth window closed. I've had it closed for weeks, so we're not interacting. But, that's the mask. I'm not a mask person because, to me, I get very hot very quick, and I start panicking that I'm breathing too much carbon dioxide. I don't like wearing masks. The masks really aren't for me too much. All right, listen, let's take our first break of the week. It's Monday, the 6th of April, 2020. My name is Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. We'll take that break. We'll be right back. Do not go anywhere.
Greg here. Conservative Doug called me live on the air to tell me about his experience at Friendly Tire.
I had two ball tires in the back of my Infinity. So I called them up, and I always check prices first. Half the price of everybody else.
Half the price? Half the price at Friendly Tire. Wow.
Half the price, and not only that, his tires, which nobody, the tires I've looked at, had any mileage guarantee. His is 60,000 mile warranty. So
Wow.
they're not only half the price, the price is good.
So you're a repeat customer over there at Friendly Tire. You bought new tires, right? So you bought new tires, because they also sell used tires, starting at just $30 for most sizes. But you bought new tires, and they were half the price at Friendly Tire than at the other tire shops around town. That is phenomenal, and came with a 60,000 mile warranty on the tires. That's great. And of course, Friendly Tire, they never charge you to mount the tire, balance the tire, or dispose of your old tires. The prices they give you are out the door and on the road. And
Rick, everybody should go there. I don't know how
That's
anybody
right.
can buy tires anyplace else. This guy is the best prices.
That's right. That's right. Listen, give Friendly Mike at Friendly Tire a call. His number, 954-977-9445. He'll give you a quote right over the phone, 954-977-9445. Online, friendlytire.net, or you can just stop right in. The address is listed at stevekaneshow.com. 5415 Northwest 15th Street in Margate, and that's just a little north of Coconut Creek Parkway on the east side of 441 State Road 7. Well, Conservative Doug, thanks so much, and I'm glad you got such a great deal on your tires at Friendly Tire in Margate.
The science behind the aging process is exploding. We have come to a point where we can take steps to significantly improve the health and function of our cells. Healthy cells means healthy tissue, means healthy organs, means a healthy body.
Welcome, everyone.
Healthy bodies do better and live longer.
Make sure you
That's right,
subscribe.
folks, I said it. Live longer. Life expectancy is increasing in this country, and it is not a coincidence. With simple, safe, and effective therapies such as peptides, we can significantly improve the function and health of your cells, and therefore we are improving your health from the ground up. Sleep better, lose weight, build muscle, have energy, have sex, be in a good mood. If feeling good and looking good sounds good to you, call me, Dr. Mitchell Matez at the Boca Raton Center for Age Management at 561-953-5490. That's 561-953-5490. Or visit our website at hormonetherapybocaraton.com.
Listen to the Steve King Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for W.
All right, welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. That's right. You know, so they really hate President Trump, the media. They really do. They really do. I don't get it. I really don't. Why do they hate the guy so much? I mean, you know, Trump said he won't wear a mask, so now Biden says he's going to wear a mask. And how convenient. How will we even know that it's Biden? Right, if he's out there wearing a mask. How will we really know if it's Biden? We may never really know. We may never really know. But, you know, that's how bad it is. If he says the sky's blue, it's not blue. I mean, it's gotten pretty bad. But Jake Tapper was pretty pissed off at this idea of President Trump reopening the country. See, Jake Tapper thinks we should all never leave our home again and just have it locked on CNN where we get all the truth. So we'll get into that in a minute. But let me take some calls. It's early. It's Monday. Good morning. You're on the radio.
Good morning. This is Richard. Might as well get started with you right off the bat.
Why so formal? You're instead of Richie the bus driver, you're now Richard? You threw me off for a second.
The bottom line is I think personally you're giving the wrong message out there at this time.
Oh, okay.
I've analyzed everything. You realize you're being irresponsible. You say everything, everyone's out, and they should go out, and the president's going to open up the cruise. So let me say this to you, okay? This particular disease, they had two older people on that cruise ship that landed in
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
hell in their cabin. They said, we feel perfect, and this is terrible, that they should have let us off. I don't know, you know, blah, 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 blah. And we're so happy we're finally getting off the ship, and they tested positive.
Yeah.
Feel good, and they can test positive. And at this particular time, according to the two doctors, that a President Trump raises somebody at this conference. This is at the time when this is most transmittable, when people don't have the symptoms and they're on.
Well, actually, what Fauci said over the weekend, what they keep telling us that the next week, which they've kind of expanded, they added another week to it. Now it's 2 weeks, but the next week to 10 days are going to be the worst so far as those who, well, let me finish what I'm going to say. That this week and next week will be the largest numbers of those who pass away due to coronavirus. But what Fauci said on Saturday, he said what they're looking at now is not the death rate, but the new infection rate. And they're seeing the infection rates go down, and that's what they're looking for, because these are people that got infected before if they die this week or next week. In fact, yeah, go ahead. So that's good news.
They got infected. They got infected before he had this thing, distance yourself, social distancing and everything. At that particular time, 3 weeks ago, which is just going so fast. 3 weeks ago, the kids were on the beach and celebrating spring break.
The case.
I mean,
yeah.
And people were in restaurants, and restaurants were open, and bars were open. So we didn't have the idea that they're now. If you do this, I'm not saying forever. And I feel that the president will start opening up businesses, but not in Boca Raton, not in Fort Lauderdale, and not in Disney World. I feel that you're going to find that this is probably here might go to the end of May. And the reason I say that is because any place that draws people, like a state of Florida, to a big tourist trap, or even Las Vegas, or places like that, that are going to draw people in and have to open up all these restaurants, I think it'll be.
No. I think, and my prediction would be that in Florida, the tourist locations are going to be closed until June 1st. To June, yeah, that's June 1st. The end of May would be June 1st. But no. But the rest of things are going to be more and more opened up each and every day. The tourist locations will be shut down and continue to be shut down for a while, but I think most other things are going to be open.
It depends on how much this drops down by the end of this month. And if it does, if it's still out there, in other words, there are going to be still people. They're hoping that it drops off tremendously at the end of the month, but they realize.
Well, what do you think about this? There was a judge. Where was this at? Was this in Kentucky? Let me see where this was before. This was in, I want to say Kentucky popped in my mind. Let me run this by you. Let's see here. I can't find what state it was in offhand, but it doesn't matter. A judge ordered some people who were exposed to coronavirus, now, by the way, not tested positive, but were exposed to someone with coronavirus, ordered them to wear ankle bracelets because they refused to stay in place to monitor them. Do you think anyone who is exposed to coronavirus should be ordered to stay in place, and if they don't, have ankle bracelets put on them? What do you think?
I think that's intimidation, but I think that...
Yeah, it was Kentucky. Yeah, I just looked. It was Kentucky.
Well, I got to ask you a question. Remember when the AIDS epidemic was going on?
Of course.
And the people that contracted AIDS, knowing that they had it, knowing that the courts deemed that if they went out there irresponsibly and had sex with other people, that they would be responsible for that. Yeah,
there have been people who have been charged with, I don't know what the crime is, but there have been people prosecuted for having sex with people when they had HIV, AIDS, and they didn't disclose that they were HIV positive. Yeah.
I'm thinking this is a slippery slope with our.
Well, maybe if you've been exposed to coronavirus, we should make them wear something on their chest, kind of like a star or something. What do you think?
People that they've been exposed, if they want to be, in other words, if they have to get some kind of control over this, or other people are going to know, well, this guy already had the virus, so he's not going to have it because he's got the antibodies and he got over it.
Yeah.
Safe. Otherwise, if this is going to be a hit list, they will never come close to anybody again.
Well, see, Richie, you and I gauge opening on two different things. You keep talking about the tourist locations because you are a retired person and your whole life is a vacation at this point. And I'm talking, so, which is fine, nothing wrong with that. And I'm much younger than you. And I'm talking about people that are in the workforce and also families with children. So we're talking about different things. So I'm not suggesting that May 1st, all the tourist locations like Disney World should open up. I think they're going to open up on June 1st. Yeah, I think they should start. They should start doing something with the schools soon. Yeah.
The kids, it's like everything else. It's when they get chickenpox, it's a young person's disease, but they spread it around.
Richie, if you listen, if none of us ever leave our home again, and we just stay at home and work from home, there'll be fewer car accidents. There'll be fewer plane crashes. There'll be fewer all kinds of accidents. I mean, if you stay at home, you're less likely to get sick and catch anything. If you stay at home, you're less likely to be in any type of incident that's going to end up with you in the hospital. But life's a gamble, and we accept that every time we get out on the road in our car, that we are taking a risk. We can't be locked up in our home like what is that called, agoraphobia or something? People that are afraid to leave their houses. How long are we going? And are we going to do this every year during this season?
No, they say there's going to be a shot by next year, but that's not what I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to say that we should be locked up, but what I'm trying to tell you is I think that if the president of the United States opens this up a little prematurely, this crap could just start once again wild. And I don't know, I see it in Florida, okay? We're not really, they said that we're not one of the main states now that are, they don't show us. They're talking about Connecticut, they're talking about Michigan, talking about all these other places. They don't mention Florida lately. I don't know why.
Because things are getting better in Florida. Things are getting better in Florida. Well, they're open for takeout. Yeah.
But that's not normal. I mean, people like to gather and they like to go out for dinner on a Friday night. Now, I understand. I'm just saying that if the president does this too quick, and I think too quick, it's up to his judgment and to see what's going on.
Well, he wants to open things up already. I think he was ready to open up parts of the country in April, and he didn't, just because there was so much pressure on him not to do what he wanted to do. Well, I didn't elect Fauci or Birx, okay? I didn't elect either of them. It's not, I was watching on Saturday, and Fauci came up there. They need to get a little step stool for him so we can see his face when he's there. But Fauci comes out, and then after Trump, and he says, well, we'll make a decision on if we open up the country based on this and that. I'm like, we? Who's this we? What decisions are you making? You're an advisor.
He's an advisor. It's going to be up to the president, but the president better be very careful about because the press, I watched it yesterday, all they looking to trap him for everything. It's so.
But Richie, a lot of the projections have been wrong. There's now these are a few days old because it takes a while for things to get reported. So these numbers are about 4 days ago, but across 42 states, the projected hospitalization for 42 states was over 103,000. Over 103,000 hospitalizations due to coronavirus across 42 states. The total was 38,000, not 103. And by the way, that includes New York. And, in Florida, I was looking for the numbers because I had them this morning and I can't find them now. The Florida projection for hospitalizations was also very much lower than projected.
Why? You know why?
Because we did what we were told by Fauci?
Yes. Because they saw what went on in Italy, and they saw what went on in Iran, in other words, without the social distancing and closing up these places, if this would have been, let me ask you a real honest question, because you're an honest guy. If he didn't do anything at all, and left all the restaurants and the beaches and everything open, and Disney World and everything else, do you think we'd be in the same position in this country?
There would be more people with it. Yeah, absolutely. No way to know.
There's a way to know.
What?
8-to-1 ratio. 8-to-1 ratio. But all the doctors say the same thing. For every person that actually has it, there are 8 people that have it that don't know they have it.
Yeah, but most people get over it, and they get, they're. So what I imagine will happen on May 1st is the president is going to open up most of the country, not the New York, New Jersey, Connecticut area. Things are pretty rough up there, but open up most of the country and tell people that are in high risk groups to stay home, and tell people in high risk groups to not go out into certain places, but everybody else take precautions, social distancing, wash your hands, wear masks, and let's get back to normal. That's what's going to start to happen on May 1st, and I think that should happen. We can't drive our. They keep talking about. Well, I heard a guy. I was listening to Fox at about 4 o'clock this morning, 4 or 5 o'clock this morning. Well, after Pearl Harbor, World War II was a big impact on local economies, and we got beyond that. No, World War II, economists believe today, and historians, that the end of the Great Depression was December 7th, 1941. We were in a Great Depression prior to World War II. So, they keep talking about, World War II, and there was a major depression going on December 6th, 1941, that ended on the morning of December 7th when Pearl Harbor happened because of the huge military. There's no comparison between this and the Second World War, and I'm just so tired of hearing this comparison.
The president, my president, he keeps on saying this is an invisible war. So.
Yeah. I think Trump agrees with me. I think he is saying and doing things that he feels under pressure to do.
Absolutely right, but I think he's going to start opening up other places. But I think he's better watch. He better be careful because.
Yeah, well, let's just not leave our houses again, Richie. Let's just stay home and never leave our homes again. How about that?
Goes too fast. If he does it too quickly, it could be a bad situation 3 weeks from when he opens it up.
Yeah. All right. Take care, Richie, the bus driver. We'll take our break for the bottom of the hour, 35 minutes after. If you're on hold, stand by. My name is Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show. Don't go anywhere. Steve Kane? Steve Kane Show.
You've heard the jingle and seen the commercials, and that's right. You will get the best night's sleep you've ever had with a MyPillow. Have you not gotten your MyPillow yet? Right now is the best time to do it.
I have these Florida numbers. Now I can't find them.
And this is the best time to get a MyPillow. They have amazing deals. Take advantage of them now.
Go to MyPillow.com, click the radio listener link, and you will see all these great deals. Like the buy one MyPillow, get one for free. There's a BOGO offer right now on the Giza Dream Sheets. Buy one set of MyPillow Giza Dream Sheets and get the second set free.
You gotta love BOGO deals. They're the best. And you can take advantage of so many right now at MyPillow.com.
There's a lot of other deals too. Again, go to MyPillow.com, click on that radio listener link, and you've got to use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout to get these incredible deals. So go right now to MyPillow.com, click the radio listener special. Make sure to use that promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout to take advantage of all of the great deals. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879. Make sure to use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, 1-800-716-4879.
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit MyPillow.com.
The science behind the aging process is exploding. We have come to a point where we can take steps to significantly improve the health and function of our cells. Healthy cells means healthy tissue, means healthy organs, means a healthy body. And healthy bodies do better and live longer. That's right, folks, I said it. Live longer. Life expectancy is increasing in this country, and it is not a coincidence. With simple, safe, and effective therapies such as peptides.
Oh, awesome. Make sure you guys subscribe, all right? If you're not subscribed, subscribe. We're just in a commercial break if you're new.
Health from the ground.
Sometimes I got to rest my mouth during the break sometimes. I do so much talking.
Be in a good mood. If feeling good and looking good sounds good to you, call me, Dr. Mitchell Matez at the Boca Raton Center for Age Management at 561-953-5490. That's 561-953-5490. Or visit our website at hormonetherapybocaraton.com.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by Attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach.
Because the kids are out of school, Sarah.
Call toll-free.
Trolls are typically kids.
FLA.
You know, like, what I mean kids, I mean like college-age kids and things like that.
Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WW.
All right, welcome back. I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show, on the radio since 1977. If you're on hold, stand by. Now this is as of April 1st, because it takes a while for the data to come through. The model that they're using at the White House, now this is for the state of Florida regarding hospitalizations due to coronavirus. The model predicted, it's the Murray model that they talk about, the Murray model, that by April 1st, Florida would have 2,296 COVID patients hospitalized. 2,296 COVID patients hospitalized. As of April 1st, that was the prediction. The number we actually had on April 1st was 949. Remember, 2,296 was the projected on April 1st. 949 was the actual number. Now, you may say, well, that's because we did this, we did that. Yeah, that's right. So when things get back to normal, we'll continue to follow this new normal of guidelines of social distancing. I've washed my hands more in the last month than I think I've washed in my entire life before. I've washed my hands 3 times since I arrived at the studio this morning at 5:30 this morning. So, I mean, we're going to keep doing it. Got my mask, got my Star Wars mask. Hey, right there, got my mask. We're going to do these things and have to get back to normal. We just can't decide that we're all going to be like Richie, the bus driver, and be retired and wait for the government checks. All right, let's take some calls. All right, good morning. You are on the radio.
Yeah, I want to ask Richie about these questions. 300,000 people a year die of obesity, heart disease. So should they ban every McDonald's, fast food restaurant, every fork, every knife, every spoon in everybody's house?
Yeah.
That 1.2 million people died from a car accident. Should they ban everybody's keys and cars and just have the government take it away from you and pay if you?
Well, the thing with Richie is what I said to Richie, Mike. There's a big difference in Richie's attitude and your attitude and my attitude. It's because you and I are in the workforce still, and Richie is retired. So he doesn't care about all these things. And plus, he spent his, not a knock against him, God bless him, but he spent his entire life working for the government. So he doesn't understand what it's like for business people out there. He doesn't relate to that. Because no matter what in his type of business, the checks keep coming because he worked for the government. He doesn't understand that.
Brian, he asked you a good question, and you didn't. I'm not sure about the answer. He said, "What about if we didn't do anything?" Now I'm going to tell him, when Obama was president, 65 million cases they had in the USA, almost 300,000 people. They said, that's what DeSantis said, were hospitalized, and 12,000 deaths with the swine flu. No panic. There was no shutdown of businesses, no social distancing, which I don't agree with. Now we can have the social, distancing, but they didn't have it. The media basically ignored it. That's all you need to.
Yeah, I will agree with you. You are 100% correct.
Fine. The one more thing, the videos they showed of spring break were from 2012, 2000. That's what I'm just repeating the Santa's words. So when Richie said, everything Richie said is a lie. Every single thing he said to you was 100%.
Now, you're Mike in New York. Are you in New York now, Mike, or are you in Florida? Where are you?
Down here, because you know why? I'm going to say it again. With 23 million people in Florida, how many people died? 100, 150? What the hell is the percentage?
Yeah, very low. Yeah. We can't have the country. All right. By the way, Mike, thanks for the call. Mike's always a good caller. We can't be locked up until no one gets sick again of anything. There's unfortunately there's acceptable risks that we all take when we walk out of the door every morning, and this is going to be one of them. We cannot be locked up forever. We just can't. sorry, it's just the way that it is. All right, 1-888 go Kane 1 is the number. 888-465-2631. Let me see here. Let me do Jake Tapper after the break because we don't have enough time for that. But after the break, I'll get into this Jake Tapper. Oh, I gotta say, have you seen the stories about the projections for hurricane season this year? Oh my goodness. Listen to this. This is the Miami Herald. This was on Friday, okay? Here's the headline. Forecasters give first look into the 2020 hurricane season. They say above average. Listen to this. The 2020 hurricane season will be busier than normal. There will be 16 named storms. That's the prediction. Eight turning into hurricanes. 4 growing into major hurricanes. That's 3 more named storms and hurricanes and 2 more major hurricanes than was predicted at this time last year. So they're predicting a rougher hurricane season, which is, oh my goodness. That's the last time, that's really the last thing we need, right? Is a rough hurricane season. But all of those that, and I watch hurricane season very carefully since we're in Florida. So they are predicting a rough hurricane season. Listen, if you are a homeowner, single family home, a condo, or you own commercial property, call Debbie at I Will Advisors. Okay? Have her review your hurricane coverage. This is very important stuff. You know, once that hurricane is on WSVN coming down Hurricane Alley and the hurricane warnings start going out, it's too late. Hurricane season starts June 1st. It's right around the corner. And Debbie at I Will Advisors will review your coverage, and she'll check for a bunch of things. One, make sure that everything you need and everything you want is covered. You would be shocked. You know, I remember when we had the really bad hurricanes a couple years ago, I knew more than one person who had damage and, oh, no worries, no worries. I've got hurricane coverage. Well, they didn't have everything they thought covered. Don't let that happen to you. Call Debbie, have her review your policy, make sure everything you want covered is covered, everything you need covered is covered, and also make sure you are not paying too much. Okay, so give her a call. If you're listening right now or overnight, call and leave a message, and they will call you back during business hours. 954-753-8080. It costs you nothing to do this. 954-753-8080. And if you're concerned about social distancing, that's cool. Most everything can be handled right over the phone with Debbie. So have her review your hurricane policy. And this goes not just for single-family homeowners. If you have a condo, if you have commercial property, make sure you're not paying too much and make sure you have the hurricane coverage you need and the hurricane coverage you want. 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
George Corey of the Soul Authority, and this time of social distancing and sheltering in place. Many people have been forced to neglect their feet. We at the Soul Authority are making it possible for you to still take care of your feet while remaining in your home, as we will send a doctor to your house for all of your podiatric needs. The best part of all is that Medicare pays for this visit. So, if you're a Medicare recipient, give the Soul Authority a call today at 954-597-7060. That's 954-597-7060. Don't let social distancing stop you from taking care of your feet. Call the Soul Authority today.
We are chatting today with Frank, the owner of 2 magnificent Ace Hardware stores. One, Deerfield Beach, 365 South Federal Highway, about a quarter of a mile south of Hillsborough on the west side of Federal Highway. And the other, Beach Ace Hardware, located at 232 Commercial Boulevard, half a block west of A1A in Lauderdale by the sea. Well, one of the things I noticed when I first walked into Ace Hardware is that you carry such a wide variety of the big brands all under one roof. It's astounding.
That's Ace's new practice. It's called Best Brands. And under one roof, we have major categories. Let me give you an example of 2. Yeti coolers, Craftsman hand tools, Milwaukee hand tools, Steel power equipment, Benmore paint, Weber grills, Napoleon grills, Traeger grills, Big Green Egg. We are a platinum dealer. We have the largest selection of green egg products, all under one roof, all with people that are experienced and show you how to use these products.
There are lots of Ace Hardware stores, but there are only 2 that are advertising with the Steve Kane Show. We're talking about the Deerfield location, a quarter of a mile south of Hillsborough Boulevard on the west side of Federal, and of course the Beach Ace Hardware located at 232 Commercial Boulevard, a half block west of A1A in Lauderdale by the Sea. Very, very special locations. Be sure to mention Steve Kane sent you.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search.
All right, welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show. I stopped in on Saturday morning after I was at the beach to Ace Hardware Deerfield, and I want to talk about my experience there, which was fantastic, a little later in the show. But, man, I have never been helped that way at a hardware store. It was great, and they helped me out a lot over at Ace Hardware in Deerfield. I'll talk about that a little later because I want to share the story with Steve because it was just a great, incredible experience at Ace Hardware. All right, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. That's our number. 888-465-2631. Let's go to the phones. You are on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Larry in Fort Lauderdale.
Hey, Larry in Fort Lauderdale. What's up?
Okay, I'm 63 years old, and I always listen to AM radio stations, right? Because I listen to talk radio and sports. But I turned to FM stations to listen to some music, and you're on FM stations, not clear.
That's right. We're on 3 FM stations, yeah.
Yeah. And that surprised me. I know you mentioned it before because I listen to you all the time. You're very, very conservative. Well, I don't want to say conservative, but you're very on point. I love you, Steve.
Well, thank you very much. Yeah.
Okay. I want to. I've been listening to you for years. One more question. I want 3 more things I want to ask you. The Donald Trump interview when he told a guy to be a wise guy. What was the guy asking him? Because I can't remember what he was saying something about.
Yeah, that was about 3 press conferences ago. It was either, I think that might have been Friday or I can't remember. It was Thursday or Friday, and I cannot remember. I remember the exchange, but I can't remember who it was or what was being asked. But I do remember that. Yeah.
He was someone saying, "Why aren't you wearing a mask?" Right? Him and the doctor gave him an answer. Somebody gave him an answer about why they wasn't wearing a mask.
Well, the thing that was yesterday with Fauci, you know. But this is what I was talking about this earlier. I don't really understand. I really don't understand why the press are so obsessed with the president and Fauci not wearing masks because none of them are wearing them either. So, you know, now if they were out there wearing masks, I could say, okay, they're wearing masks, so they're interested in why others are not. You know, but I think what Fauci said was, like, if you're sick, you should wear the mask. Right? Is that what he said? I can't remember exactly what he said, honestly.
He gave some answer, and Donald Trump said, yeah, that's a good answer.
Oh, okay. I'll go back and re-listen to that again. That was yesterday they asked about that. Yeah, I kind of tune out Fauci. I listened to more of the Q&A between Trump and the press than anything.
I've been thinking about it for years. Change the format Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday to Brian Craig hours from 8 to 1 o'clock. And then we just do the best of on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
8 to 1 o'clock. You mean you want us on the air 5 hours from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m.?
That takes care of 15 hours because you're on from 6 to 9 through the week.
Well, through the week, we're actually on midnight till 9 a.m. Midnight till 9 a.m. you can catch the show, yeah. Yeah. That's 5 hours on the air. That's a long time on the air.
Older people, your audience is older people, so
some
up and awake, and Steve will be on time.
Ah. Oh, if we were on later.
Over the weekend, so you got Mondays, and you're very good at so Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. That way you give you 2 days off on the weekend, and Steve will be
Oh, I see. Yeah. Steve's not a morning person. He never was. I am a morning person. Even on the weekends, I get up at like 4 a.m. on the weekends.
Tell Steve I've been listening to him since he's been over there on 19th Street in Fort Lauderdale, so he should change his format, evolutionize, and come up to age.
Yeah, 2020. Well, 19th Street, that's when we were on 1400 WFTL, and that was a rough neighborhood, I got to tell you. Rough. Yeah, that's right. And Al Rantel and Gary Daniels, remember all of that? And Rick Siderman. Yeah. All right, man, appreciate the call. Thanks so much. All right, you're on the radio. Good morning.
Good morning, Brian. How are you? This is Lewis in Deerfield.
I'm doing all right, Lewis. How you doing?
I'm fine. I'm actually right down the street here from Ace Hardware near Hillsborough and Federal High.
Oh, yeah. I was just over there Saturday. I went to Deerfield Beach on Saturday morning and then went over to Ace Hardware.
Was the beach open, the beach?
No, it was not. It was not. They have police officers and they had the sand roped off. But you could walk. I took my skateboard and went skateboarding down there. There were a lot of people walking around. It was nice to skateboard when the street's empty. I was skateboarding right out in the beach highway. I don't know what that street is called. The one that's all brick. The one where it's all brick, right, where you can park on the beach. They won't let anyone park there, so I was skateboarding where the cars are usually parked. To me, it made no sense. They have the beach roped off, and they had a police officer there. And this police officer, I'm sure she's a great cop, but she had fingernails like the lady bus drivers have. And I don't know I wonder what the Broward Sheriff's Office regulations are when it comes to fingernail length, because I just don't know if she'd be very quick on the draw with those nails. I was very strange to see, but yeah. So I went down there for the sunrise. It was nice to see. It was the first, yeah.
I've been there for a while. Anyway, the reason I called, Brian, is I noticed an interesting correlation. All the places that are like hot spots where they have a lot of corona.
Democrats, watch. He's going to say Democrats.
Here and overseas, at home and abroad. They're all controlled by leftists.
Yes, I told you. Yeah. Well, and even if you look, Dade County here in Florida, that's a Democrat town down there.
It's mostly in South Florida, but I mean, look, you got New York, you got New Orleans, and then you have now Boston, right?
Okay, now why do you think that, forgetting about abroad, let's just talk about America. Why do you think in America, Democrat areas are harder hit than Republican areas?
Well, one reason could be just demographics. I mean, they tend to be more urban areas.
Yeah, that's part of it. Part of the reason is you're right.
Have, in a state like Massachusetts, where the Republicans are only 15% of the electorate, they almost always have Republican governors because Democrats are corrupted.
Well, there's two, yes, okay, I'm going to agree with you on all of that. The two reasons why in America the areas that are the hardest hit are run by Democrats is because there's two reasons. One, of course, is that these big metropolitan areas like New York City, people live closer in together. Even parts of Miami are that way, big city. So, and those areas tend to be Democrat overall for whatever reason. And that's first and foremost. Another reason is, and that's true, and that may be the biggest reason, but other reasons, there are other reasons. For example, Democrat government, right? Like Democrat governors, Democrat mayors, Democrat county leaders, what do they do? They run things totally different than Ron DeSantis or President Trump. And you see this with President Trump. President Trump has a mask shortage. He calls up the company that makes the masks. There's a ventilator shortage. He calls up the company that makes the ventilators. What Democrats do, they don't call people up like that. They call up other bureaucrats. And you get less done when you're dealing with bureaucrats as opposed to going straight to the source. Like there was a story last week in one of the Trump press conferences about how they were using homicide detectives to do regular calls in New York because there's a shortage, and they didn't have proper clothing. So President Trump's guy made 2 calls to the people that make the special clothing for police officers to wear during such a thing, and got like 14 or 1,500 outfits there. Got a couple of truckloads of hand sanitizer delivered to New York because they called the hand sanitizer manufacturer. So Republicans are dealing with private businesses and public corporations that make all these things we need, where someone like Governor Cuomo whines on TV and then calls a government bureaucrat. You know what I mean? So that's one of the reasons Republican areas, I think, are doing better, is the response is better.
Yeah, there also seem to be more result-oriented than process-oriented. Like the process in many of these places is you call it bureaucratic, but some of it is just basically how to help your friends.
Well, and when you look at Republican and Democrats, I'm talking about people. Like I'm a Republican, you're a Republican, or I'm talking about individuals. You're not a Republican. What are you? What are you? I hope you're not one of these independently liberal people. You voted for Trump, right? Okay, you're all right. You're cool. Oh, okay. Well, you might as well be a Republican. It doesn't matter. Don't get sidetracked. Okay, don't get sidetracked and all that stuff. The difference between a liberal person and a conservative-minded person is conservatives are more into personal responsibility and take care of themselves, where Democrats are waiting for the government to come along and do it. And, a textbook example of this was Hurricane Katrina hitting New Orleans. We get hurricanes in Florida. I'm talking about it now. And what am I telling people to do? Call Debbie at I Will Advisors, have her review your hurricane policy, and then we stock up. New Orleans was a Democrat town. They didn't stock up and prepare for a hurricane like I do here in Florida. They're waiting for the government in a FEMA trailer to come and prepare them. You know what I mean? So conservative-minded people take precautions on their own, even in a crisis like this, as opposed to Democrats who wait for the government to tell them what to do, wait for the government to do it, and then do exactly what they're told. Conservatives are more go-getters that take personal, okay, I don't want to get sick, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. So that's another reason why Democrats are affected more in a negative way than Republicans overall. I mean, in my opinion, if any of you liberals out there disagree. All right, listen, I got to run for the top, but thanks for the call. It's 7 o'clock in the morning, Monday morning. I'm Brian. This is the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
5.3 FM, 96.9 FM, 103.9 FM, and AM 1470. WWNN Pompano Beach is the Florida Money Talk Network.
This is Brian Craig. I've been telling you about the great deals and incredible customer service at Friendly Tire on both new tires and used tires. One of our listeners, Antonio, went to Friendly Tire and called to share with us his experience of buying used tires at Friendly Tire in Margate. Good morning, you're on the radio.
Hey, yes, Brian, I want to give you a quick testimony about the tire place up in Margate, Friendly Tire. Friendly Tire is everything you said it would be, man. I went up there and got me some used tires, and when I went up there, man, he was very courteous. My whole family's going for that one, man. Everything you said it was going to be, man. I appreciate you for that, man. And Mike's a great guy, man.
Well, what's your name?
Antonio.
All right, Antonio. Hey, I'm glad we could save you. Welcome to the show. If you're new, make sure you subscribe.
Oh, no doubt, man. Thanks so much, man.
If you're new to the show, press 1 in the chat. Press 1 if you're new.
Incredible deals on both new and used tires. Give Friendly Mike a call right now. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. And Mike will give you a quote
welcome.
over the phone. 954-977-9445.
Welcome. But just once. You don't have to keep doing it over and over, Bravo.
Have you checked your cholesterol lately? Knowing your numbers is important, especially when it comes to heart health. Any lab test now of Boca Raton guarantee the lowest
4 years.
on
Welcome.
thousands of lab tests. Their total cholesterol panel with LDL, HDL, and triglycerides is just $49. No doctor's order or prescription is needed. No appointment either. Just stop right in, and you will be in and out in 15 minutes or less. Any lab test now of Boca Raton is located at 23016 Sandalfoot Plaza on the east side of 441, just a few doors down from Western Beef. If you have any questions, call 561-237-5009. 561-237-5009. Any lab tests now of Boca Raton. Make sure you tell them you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show.
Hi, this is George Corey of the Soul Authority. In this time of social distancing and sheltering in place, many people have been forced to neglect their feet. We at the Soul Authority are making it possible for you to still take care of your feet while remaining in your home, as we will send a doctor to your house for all of your podiatric needs. The best part of all is that Medicare pays for this visit. So, if you're a Medicare recipient, give the Soul Authority a call today at 954-597-7060. That's 954-597-7060. Don't let social distancing stop you from taking care of your feet. Call the Soul Authority today.
I'm just streaming here from now. It's much easier.
Here with an important message from Attorney Barry Siegel. Because of the coronavirus, the Siegel Law Group has had to postpone their live Medicaid and Living Trust workshops. And now, because the issues discussed by Barry in these workshops is even more critical during these times, you can now get the same great information from the comfort of your home in a safe manner. Call the Siegel Law Group right now, and they will send you the workshop video for free. You can also set up your free phone and online consultation. Don't procrastinate. Call the Siegel Law Group right now at 855-FLA Estate. That's 855-352-3782. So you can learn what you need to know to protect yourself and your loved ones. 855-352-3782.
You are listening to South Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. To call the show toll free, dial 1-888-GO-KANE. 1. That's 1.
Yeah. Welcome, everyone. Hour number 2 has begun. That's right, I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. Oh, man, it's Monday, April 6th. Lots going on, lots to talk about. Had some great calls so far this morning. Let's keep it coming, people. Thanks so much. Everyone who has called and participated, thank you for calling. Thank you for participating. And I want to also thank you for using and patronizing all of our sponsors. All of our sponsors are open for business, people. Okay, they are all open for business. And continue to patronize all of them. Support the show, support our sponsors. And when you support our sponsors, you're not just supporting the show, you're supporting the workers over there and all of our sponsors. So President Trump is making a move to open up the country again. And he's even talking over the weekend about putting together another task force on the reopening. Yeah, so I guess we'll be hearing about that one real soon. Well, Jake Tapper he's very upset. See, Jake Tapper apparently believes we should all stay home forever and just watch CNN. The ratings will go up, right? Maybe we should only have one cable news network, right? Let's just end them all except CNN. Like at the airports, you know? And Jake Tapper sent a message out live on the air on CNN to President Trump. He had a direct message to President Trump about the reopening of the country. But I would recommend, Jake Tapper, if you want to get a message to the president, don't broadcast it on CNN. Broadcast it on Fox News where he's watching. But anyway, this is Jake Tapper over the weekend. Let's play this. We'll talk about it. He's a real piece of work.
If I can take a moment, I would like to speak directly to one person known to watch this show, or at least clips of the show, President Trump.
President Trump is known to watch Jake Tapper? What makes Jake Tapper think that? Does President Trump say he watches Jake Tapper? I don't think so.
Mr. President, I know you, like millions of Americans, are eager to have the nation go back to some semblance of normal. One of the questions the American people need answered for that to happen responsibly. What's the plan?
Okay, what's the plan? See, this is going to be a big thing. What's the plan? The next thing is going to be he has no plan. What's his plan? He has no plan. When things open up, he didn't have a plan. Oh, my goodness. You know, what is the left's plan? What is the left's plan? Right? Is the left's plan to just have us stay at home forever and watch them? What is their plan? I'm not sure. Well, anyway, let's get back to Tapper.
Testing of every American so as to...
Wait a minute. Let me go back a little bit.
Semblance of normal. One of the questions the American people need answered for that to happen responsibly. What's the plan? Is there a plan for widespread testing of every American so as to isolate the virus, the way other countries have done? When will there be enough tests for that to happen? How will they be administered? Who will pay for the tests and the results? Who will notify us as to whether we've tested positive or not? and what to do then? Is there a plan to make sure doctors and nurses and healthcare professionals finally are able to get the personal protective equipment or PPE that they need?
PPE, I had to Google PPE, personal protective equipment. I hear these reporters using PPE. I mean, who uses that? I had to Google that, personal protection equipment. You know, this whole idea that there's no plan, what's the plan? Are we going to test every American? You know, Governor Cuomo, I'm not a fan of. I do watch his press conferences most days because the Cuomo press conferences are hilarious. I mean, they're bizarre. I missed one the other day and I was so upset. It was the one where he Skyped in his brother from the basement, and his brother was talking about the dream of seeing Governor Cuomo in a top hat dancing like the peanut guy. I don't know. It was very strange. And I missed that one. I was so upset. I missed a doozy. But here, you know, here's the... I know. It's crazy. It's totally crazy. But what Governor Cuomo said a week or two ago, he said one thing I'll agree about. He said, I agree with Governor Cuomo on this. He says if you take the test and you test negative, he says that's anxiety inducing. Because then, well, wait a minute. Did I get it today? I took the test yesterday and I was okay. Did I get it this afternoon? Do I need to take it? He said, you know, with these instant tests, what is Jake Tapper suggesting? That we all take tests at least once a day or throughout our day to find out if we have it forever? And if someone tests positive, what should they do? Should they wear something on their chest so that we know that they've tested positive? Should the colors be different? Should we have one color for people that have tested positive and another for people that have been exposed but have tested negative? I don't know what the left are suggesting. I don't know what their plan is. Well, let's get back to Tapper and see what other brilliance he's going to share with us.
That they need. Those healthcare workers are quite literally dying while they try to protect our society and save lives, and they're begging for PPE. They don't need to be told that their governors or their hospital directors are doing anything wrong by trying to get those supplies to protect their lives while they try to save our lives. They need to know that there's a plan to get them the supplies they need. Governors and mayors right now are literally bidding against each other and against the federal government to try to get these supplies. This is escalating the prices and causing confusion and unnecessary bidding competition. Is there a plan to stop that?
So Tapper wants a plan in place to stop capitalism. Isn't that amazing? You know, Mike Lindell, who's making 50,000 masks a day, Mike Lindell of MyPillow, who is really he's being attacked by a lot of people these days. He's a good guy, a sponsor of this program, MyPillow. But he's making 50,000 masks a day. He said they'll be the most comfortable mask you ever wear. If he makes his masks available for sale, and I hope he does, I'll tell you all about them, and I would hope you get a discount when you use the promo code Kane when they're available. But, you know, I have a mask. My mother-in-law made masks for the whole family. Mine's a Star Wars mask. I'm going to put it on now. Not that I need it. I'm in a building alone, and a sound booth all alone. There is no one within a 2-block radius of me. I'm all alone here. But see, this is what, you know, this is what conservative people do. We take care of ourselves. Got my own mask. Family member made the mask. Mask for the whole family. We got them. Very good mask. It's a Star Wars mask, so it's fashionable. Match a lot of my t-shirts. I need to get one that says MAGA across it. Trump 2020, keep America great. Maybe I get one of those. I don't know. But, you know, what Jake Tapper is talking about is, what is the government going to do to take care of everyone? Because people in the country, they didn't go to Columbia, Harvard, Princeton, Yale, Oxford, right? They don't know how to take care of themselves. Here we go. Back to Tapper.
What about ventilators? New York City Mayor de Blasio said today would be the day his city could run out. Governor Edwards said his city or state could run out on Thursday.
But did they, Jake? Have they?
Expedite the manufacture of ventilators.
Yes.
Clear whether you have fully utilized the Defense Production Act. Have you? Are any companies being compelled by the U.S. government to make ventilators?
Yes. Oh my goodness.
Let's get them.
You know what Jake Tapper's problem is? CNN's not carrying the White House President Trump coronavirus press briefings every day. Every single thing that Jake Tapper's whining about, he sounds like Governor Cuomo. Everything that Tapper is whining about has been addressed and dealt with by the president. They talk about it repeatedly in the coronavirus task force press conferences, but since CNN says they're filled with lies and are cutting away and not carrying them, I guess they're missing it. You know what, Jake Tapper? Turn on Fox News, turn on One America News, and watch the press conferences. Oh, I must tell you, I did mention this on Friday. I downloaded on my television the One America News app. It's $5 a month. I've been watching One America News, and I love One America News. One America News is awesome. It is very, very good. It's the actual news, and they really take on the mainstream media. It's like Fox used to be, like around 2000, 2002. They haven't been that way in a long time, but it's so awesome watching One America News. It's like actual real news. You find out what's really going on about everything, including coronavirus in this country. And it's not just an endless debate bickering. Okay, we have a story here, and this is the Democrat. On the other side, we got the Republican, and they're going to tell you what you're supposed to think if you're a Republican or a Democrat, blah, 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 blah. They actually give you the news. Their primetime show is pretty good, too. I'm really loving One America News, and if you can get it, you should. This is not a paid advertisement, but I'm here to tell you, One America News will take the stress right off of you. They did a really good piece over the weekend. They ran it all weekend on One America News. Remember we were talking about how the White House press corps said that the One America News White House correspondent wasn't adhering to social distancing guidelines in the press briefing room and threw her out. Now, the White House invited her back in, and she's still there. Chanel Rion, is that her name? They did an entire piece about this, ran all weekend long on One American News. It was hilarious, actually. It was a real news story, but it was kind of funny. They showed her in the press briefing room. She was all by herself over in the corner in the back of the room because no one else in the White House press corps wants even, they social distance from her because they can't stand her because she's not mainstream media, being from One American News, and she's asking questions they don't want to ask. So they talked about how the One American News White House correspondent was accused of not adhering to the social distancing guidelines. They showed photographs from the press briefing room. She's by herself up against a wall in the corner. And then a little ways from her in the middle of the room are a bunch of mainstream media people all grouped together. I mean, grouped together, like on a normal day. She's an outcast in there. She is social distancing. But One American News is pretty darn good, and I'm enjoying it. All right, let's finish up with Tapper here. He wants to know if President Trump has a plan.
What about the cotton masks that the CDC is now suggesting that we all wear when we leave our homes?
My Pillow is manufacturing them, 50,000 a day, and many others are too, Jake Tapper. Don't you watch the news, Jake Tapper?
Is someone manufacturing them? How can we get them? Is there a plan? Please, Mr. President. American people, they need answers to these questions. They are less interested in your popularity on Facebook.
Who's the lady at CNN that tested positive? Can you tell me her name? I forgot her name. Anyone tell me real quick?
They're horrified.
I'll know it if I see it.
When you make leering allusions to your country with models, while discussing projection models of mass American.
I can't remember her name. Brooke Baldwin.
Attacking
Thank you.
governors and mayors and journalists for asking questions, that might please your fans. It doesn't save one life. This is not about winning a news cycle on Fox. Please. The American people right now need someone to explain what is going to be done to get us out of this.
Okay. Well, Jake Tapper, start carrying the coronavirus press briefings every afternoon on CNN and watch them, and all your questions will be answered. There is not a single thing that he asked that has not been addressed in the press briefings. Who's making the mask? What's the plan? It's there each and every day. Each and every day. But CNN won't carry them. And they're not watching them. So they don't know. Oh, man. Okay, now, at CNN, I want to talk to the wives out there. I want to talk to the wives. Anybody out there a wife? Let me run a scenario by you. Okay? Your husband is Fredo Cuomo of CNN. Right? Chris Cuomo. Chris Cuomo is your husband. Now this is to the wives out there. I just got a question. I'd like to take some calls on this, by the way, at 1-888-GO-CANE-1. 888-465-2631. You're stuck in your upscale brownstone or whatever the hell he lives in New York. I'm sure it's very nice and expensive. You're Chris Cuomo's wife. Chris Cuomo tests positive for coronavirus. No one else in your household tests positive for it. No one else in your family tests positive for it. Your husband, Chris Cuomo, tests positive. He's now secluded in the basement for coronavirus. 1 or 2 days go by, and a lady that he works with by the name of Brooke Baldwin of CNN also tests positive for coronavirus. You're Chris Cuomo's wife. Do you start asking him if he had any contact with Brooke Baldwin? That was the first thing my wife said. When it came out that Brooke Baldwin tested positive for coronavirus, the first thing my wife said is, if I was his wife, I'd be asking questions. Yeah, I haven't heard anyone else at CNN testing positive, just Brooke Baldwin and Chris Cuomo. Oh my goodness. I don't know. I'm just asking if you would ask that question. If you wives out there, would you be asking Chris about that? Oh my goodness. I know. Well, I know my wife would, because she was asking about it over the weekend. She was saying, I'd be asking. All right, 1-888-GO-CANE-1. That's our number. It's a toll-free call. 1-888-465-2631. 1-888-465-2631. You know, speaking of Mike Lindell at MyPillow, I'm going to ask all of you to support MyPillow and Mike Lindell. Mike Lindell is under fire. And, you know, I love MyPillows. And everyone in my family sleeps on a MyPillow. I do, my wife does, my daughter. Even our cats and dogs sleep on the MyPillow pet bed. And there are just incredible deals if you go to MyPillow.com. And there is a great new collection that I just saw here. This is an incredible collection. That I just saw this a moment ago. You've got to go to MyPillow.com and check this out. Use the promo code CANE at checkout. By the way, every special you see at MyPillow.com, you can take advantage of with the promo code CANE, K-A-N-E. And the Roll and Go Anywhere pillow, you buy one, you get one free with free shipping when you use the promo code CANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. And they come in many colors, many patterns, and boom, they have one that is the American flag. There is an American flag MyPillow. I just saw it just a minute ago. When I was talking about Mike Lindell, I went to the website because I knew I was going to talk about them to you going into this break. And I just saw this just a couple of minutes ago. There is an American flag MyPillow, and you can buy one and get the other one free when you use the promo code CANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. It's the MyPillow Roll and Go Anywhere pillow. Buy one, get one free, and free shipping. Oh, man. It doesn't get better than that. There's other colors and other patterns, but I'm going to order that American flag one for myself. You know what? We'll get two of them. One for each end of the couch. So use that promo code CANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. If we have any Canadians in the audience, there's also one with the Canadian flag. But I'm getting the one with the American flag. Use that promo code CANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. Go to MyPillow.com, and you'll see it right there. Buy one, get one free. It is it's in the second row of the specials. And the free shipping, they got this free shipping there. That is a great one. Oh, man, you'll see the American flag pillow. So order your American flag MyPillow. Go to MyPillow.com. You'll see it right there, second row, left side of the screen. When you use the promo code CANE at checkout, K-A-N-E, buy one, get one free, and free shipping. You can also order by phone. I'll give you the phone number. The phone number is 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Get that American flag My Pillow. Buy one, get one free, so get two of them. Two of them. That is awesome. Use the promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. All right, let's take that break. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
This is George Corey of the Soul Authority, and this time of social distancing and sheltering.
Wow, that's a great one.
People
Guys, order that.
Neglect their feet. We at the Soul Authority are making it possible for you to still take care of your feet while remaining in your home, as we will send a doctor to your house for all of your podiatric needs. The best part of all is that Medicare pays for this visit. So, if you're a Medicare recipient, give the Soul Authority a call today at 954-597-7060. That's 954-597-7060.
It is. Order one, Robert.
Social distancing stop you from taking care of your feet. Call the Soul Authority today.
Dr. Matez, we talk about charisma. Hormone replacement pellet therapy brings back a lot of things in people, and one of the things I think it brings back is charisma, because I've met many listeners that are patients of Dr. Matez that I've met before they were patients of Dr. Matez, and I notice a big difference. And one thing I notice is a lot of confidence in guys after they start hormone replacement pellet therapy.
I agree with you 100%, Brad.
Yeah, yeah.
Get your mojo back. It's really
It
what it is.
changes your life. It changes the way you view the world. You know how I put it once? This was years and years ago. Looking at the world after having the hormone therapy.
Steve Kane
you
Show.
Look at the world, and the world is like a Technicolor. And when you
Steve
give
Kane
up
Show.
the hormone therapy, it's like watching the world
Hey,
in
hold on.
black and white. It's just an amazing difference. Life
That's
is
a
fuller,
fantastic analogy.
isn't it?
It
And
is.
it's true. That's a big difference.
It is. As we get older, you know, we both physically and mentally break down, and we tend to get into a very black and white type of existence, a lot of people. Everybody's different. But when you get your hormone levels back and you get that vigor back, you
Oh, it's
feel
the best.
good. Suddenly things are very bright and colorful.
And I experience this myself, and I see it on listeners, is I'll see a guy, and he's like, and then I'll see him after he has become a patient of yours with hormone replacement pellet therapy. He seems like he's standing up,
Hey, Neil.
strong, confident, 10 feet tall. What is it about hormone replacement pellet therapy that does that to guys?
I believe it's because you're putting God's nectar back into the body, basically. You know, God gave us testosterone in particular to give us energy and strength and endurance and muscle mass. It's what makes not just men, it's what makes people. And a lack of it takes all of those things away from you.
We'll meet with Steve Kane listeners at no charge.
Always.
What is the number they can call to make that appointment?
561-953-5490. 561-953-5490.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WW.
All right, yeah. You know, and I'm a patient of Dr. Matez, and hormone replacement pellet therapy is life-changing. It's probably, it is, I compare it to when I had LASIK vision correction. Before I had LASIK vision correction, my vision was 2400. And after LASIK vision correction, my vision became 20/15, which is better than 20/20. 20/20 is perfect. 20/15 is a step beyond that. And it was dramatic, the way I saw the world instantly after LASIK. And it's a similar thing with hormone replacement pellet therapy. Man, you know, I go 7 days a week. I go all day. I go all night. And it's because of Dr. Matez, hormone replacement pellet therapy. Give him a call. Free consultation for Steve Kane listeners. 561-953-5490. 561-953-5490. All right, let's go to the phones. Good morning. You are on the radio.
Hi, good morning, gentlemen. This is Susan calling.
Hey, Susan.
Question. What do you guys think about this conspiracy theory of the 5G network, the towers being all of a sudden put up, that COVID is really a reaction?
Yeah.
People can't handle it.
Because of 5G. There's a lot of nutty people out there. What I think about 5G is it's a faster cell phone internet connection. I'm looking forward to my next iPhone will be a 5G phone, I'm sure. There's no conspiracy around 5G. The only thing I think people might be upset about is that they got to buy a 5G phone, you know, because their phone may only be, like the one I have now is 4G. My iPhone 11 Pro is a 4G. And some people said, don't buy that phone. Wait till the 5G's out next year, and I couldn't wait. No, there's no conspiracy. That's just nutcases or people killing time on the air. The radiation, Where do you hear this stuff at? Are you an Alex Jones listener?
Oh, I listen to you guys on my way to work in the morning.
Well, where are you getting this story about radiation from 5G? This is a new one to me. Where'd you hear this at?
There were these clips from newscasts compiled on the internet, on YouTube, from different news.
Okay, well, I'll tell you this. You're not supposed to ask a lady her age, but you're anonymous. You're on the phone. How old are you? Oh, okay. You're too young for me to ask the question, so I'll just tell you. You're 29. When I was young, microwaves. When I was a kid in the 70s and 80s, people did not call microwaves. They called them something else. Do you know what they called microwave? What people call, it wasn't the official name, but everyone called a microwave something other than a microwave. Do you know what they called microwaves? Any idea? That's okay. You're 29 years old. I mean, you probably never have even used a cassette tape, right? Or a VCR maybe even. What they called microwaves in the 70s and 80s, they called them radar ranges, not microwaves. And many people feared the microwave at home. In fact, my grandmother was one of them. She had a big microwave over the stove, and she used it as a bread box. Why do you think people were afraid to use microwaves in the 70s and 80s? A lot of people had them, but they were afraid to use them. Why do you think that was? That's right, radiation. People were afraid that their microwaves, that they called radar ranges, were spreading radiation and would radiate them. And there was even a phrase that was used when someone would cook something in a microwave, they would often say, "I'm going to nuke it." That was like a common phrase. "I'm going to nuke it." People say that all the time. So anyway, when there's new technology around, whether it's 5G or microwaves, people always are talking about radiation and being exposed to. They used to say that about cell phones, that cell phone usage would cause cancer because you have this device up to your ear all day, radiating your brain, and it will cause brain tumors. There's always been these things. It's ridiculous. All right, appreciate the call. All right, good morning. You're on the radio.
Good morning, Brian. Jeff from Maine.
Hey, Jeff in Maine. You probably remember the days of the radar range.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Levels coming from 5G is much higher than.
Oh my gosh, here we go. Oh my gosh, we're going down the rabbit hole.
I'm not saying it's deadly, but it is higher than anything else we've used.
Okay. So 5G, you're talking about coming from the phone or from the towers?
From the towers.
Oh my goodness.
When they turned on 5G in Wuhan City there, people started getting sick.
Oh my goodness. Oh my good. Come on, Jeff, I love you. Jeff, you're a great caller. But where are you getting this intel? What news sources are you using? I sound like CNN. I sound like Katie Couric talking to Sarah Palin. What do you read? What do you read? Where do you get your worldview? But come on. No, but I'm serious. Where do you hear this craziness? I'm serious. Because I'll look it up. I'll read up on it. I'll read up on it.
I can't remember where I saw it. I'm sorry.
Okay. Oh my goodness.
5G.
No. Well, why not 4G? I remember when 3G was new now, and I don't know what we had before 3G because they didn't advertise it. I guess we had 1G. I don't know what we had before that. I don't know.
Of information, the jump from 4G to 5G is more than the jump from 1G all the way to 4G.
Oh, I can't wait to get it then. It sounds like when I have to buy a new iPhone that it'll be well worth it. I hope they have 5G all over my area. Yeah, remember dial-up? Oh my gosh. Dial-up. Remember all that? Oh my goodness.
Anything wrong? They
No. Yeah, it's fine. You know, when the days of the cell phones causing brain cancer conspiracy, that's back in the days of the brick phone. You know? The biggest problem, I think, with cell phones, okay, involves texting and involves driving. Texting while driving probably kills more people than drunken driving today. I don't even think they talk to kids about don't drink and drive anymore. I think they talk to them about don't text and drive these days, you know? So it's that you're more likely to, the texting's more likely to cause a problem than the 5G. Oh my goodness.
So many people here in Maine, especially traveling on the interstate, texting and driving, and that is the craziest thing that you can do, looking at your steering wheel, trying to drive and text. And
Yeah, anytime I see a car swerve on the road, I try to get up close to them to see if they're texting, and they always are. Anytime I can do it, they're always texting. Yeah, texting and driving, what do they say in the commercials? It's a dangerous mix. It's a dangerous mix.
on the site, I can't remember, it was 336,000 and something, 100,000 positive tests in America and just over 9,000 deaths. Do you think that this is a true pandemic?
Well, I don't know what the textbook definition of pandemic is. I don't know. Does it have to be? Is it by deaths or infections? Because I mean, if it's by infections, it's certainly a pandemic. I can look it up. But if it's by death, maybe not. I don't know.
Stages, but how many people have had it, got over it, never was hospitalized?
Well, that's an unknown that we'll never know. That's an unknown.
On OAN News this morning, they said 1.67 million people have been tested.
Yeah.
To see the results from that.
Yeah.
Because that will drop the death rate in the hospitalization.
Well, listen, the purpose, okay, the only thing about the testing, and they've got this new test where you can get the results almost instantly, right? 5 minutes for a negative, and it'll take up to 15 for a positive. You know, it's like almost as fast as the birth control test. And the only thing I worry about all of this is a lot of technology is being pushed through, medical technology, very fast, like this test, you know, and when something is developed and pushed through so fast, I hope when this is over that they can slow down and take a look and make sure it's accurate. We're not getting too many false positives. But the thing about Trump, I was opposed to all this testing that's going on nationwide. You know, the left want every American tested. Every American tested. And that's pretty frightening to me because we have, you know, there's this judge in Kentucky that put law enforcement bracelet monitors on people that didn't test positive to coronavirus but were exposed to coronavirus to make sure they didn't leave their home, which is pretty scary. So when the liberals have everyone tested, what are they going to do to everyone that tests positive or was exposed? You know, and I'll tell you, the left don't put anything past them. If someone's been exposed to coronavirus, not tested, well, they have to wear some patch on their outfit to let people know they've been exposed so you can make sure you stand extra far away. You know, do you understand this slippery slope we're getting into in America? And yeah, and you're going to find there's going to be, I hear people already talking about this. They want people to take the fast test every day. Well, what's going to happen? If I go to like a football game, am I going to have to take the test and wait for the result before I'm allowed in? What's going to, you know, there's all kinds of crazy talk coming from leftists about this, and it's almost a new form of segregation. Maybe it is a form of, maybe not almost, maybe it is a form of segregation they're talking about. And, you know, in the references I've made, I don't have to say it. People know what references I'm making with that. You know, it's a very dangerous thing. But the one positive thing about the testing is what the testing will do is put the mortality rate in a more proper perspective. Trump's trying to get the mortality rate down to a number where people can say, okay, you know what I mean? So that's his main purpose. Yeah, yeah. But when I saw this story over the weekend in Kentucky, where they put ankle bracelets on a whole family in Kentucky. A judge ordered ankle monitors on them, and they're on them because again, these are not people. One family member tested positive. The other ones therefore were exposed. They did not test positive. They tested negative, but were exposed. So they're under literal house arrest with ankle monitors because they were exposed. Wow, I mean that we're in a whole new. When this is all over, and life really gets back to normal, there are going to be so many lawsuits and court cases going on over this.
Is going to make China pay for this. I believe China left that out deliberately. They're hurting their economy is hurting so bad because Trump is making everybody.
Well, China's done. China's done in a lot of ways because there's a huge move already to bring. This is finally going to bring our manufacturing back, and the southern border issue is no longer a controversy. It's done. It's not even a controversy anymore. The leftists will whine about it here and there, but it's not going to go over very well. All right, Jeff in Maine, got to run for the break. Thanks for the call. It is, oh my goodness, 38 minutes after the hour. We're a little late for the break. I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
When you need drug or STD testing, you want to keep it private. After all, that's no one's business but yours. At any lab test now of Boca Raton, they guarantee the lowest price on all of their thousands of tests. And all their testing is completely confidential. Drug and STD testing start at just $49. Drug testing results are available on the spot. No appointment necessary, no doctor's order or prescription.
Well, thank you.
In 15 minutes or less. Any lab test now of Boca Raton is located at 23016.
This is one of my wife's cups I brought from home for coffee.
Side of 441, just a few doors down from Western Beef. If you have any
pretty nice Christmas cup.
561-237-5009.
What do you mean Santa has enough reindeer? It says.
5009. Any lab test now at Boca Raton. Make sure you tell them you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show.
This is Lori Kane, and I want to tell you about Brighton Dental Care. I just had a lot of work done, and I avoided going to the dentist for a lot of years because I was afraid of the cost. But I went to Brighton Dental for my free consultation, which, by the way, he offers to all Steve Kane listeners. I had 2 cavities, I needed a crown on top and a crown on the bottom. If I were a horse, they would have put me down. So I scheduled my appointment for the next Saturday because Brighton Dental has Saturday appointments available, and they saved me a ton of money. And I will be a patient for life. Don't let cost stop you from taking care of your teeth. Brighton Dental gives Steve Kane listeners incredible discounts on all dental procedures, just like they gave me. Prices are so reasonable, you don't have to worry about the cost. So call Brighton Dental today at 954-922-4633. That's 954-922-4633. You can visit them at brightondental.com and tell them Lori Kane sent you.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Avoid probate with a revocable living trust. $350 for single people, $450 for married couples. When you complete your trust with attorney Barry Siegel, he will give you a $100 gift certificate to Tavolino Italian Restaurant in Coral Springs. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices in South Florida, including downtown Fort Lauderdale, Coral Gables, and downtown Miami. 1-855 FLA3782.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian. This is the Steve Kane Show. I know you saw the stories over the weekend. They were in all the Florida papers. This hurricane season is being predicted to be above average, more named storms, more hurricanes, more severe storms. It looks like a rough hurricane season quite possibly could be coming our way, and you want to be prepared. And the first way to be prepared is to make sure that your hurricane coverage for your home, for your condo, for your business is the hurricane coverage that you need and the hurricane coverage that you want. And that's where Debbie at I Will Advisors comes in. Steve and I have known Debbie for many, many years. For those of you that go way, way back, she's the daughter-in-law of Adam Klatzoff. Remember Adam Klatzoff? Who's no longer with us, passed away a few months back. Debbie from I Will Advisors, she will review your policy and make sure that you have the hurricane coverage for your property, both home, condo, as well as commercial property is the hurricane coverage you need and want. Let me tell you something. You know, what you want to do is, one, you want to make sure you're not paying too much money for your coverage, which you very well may be. She'll check that out for you. Also, go through Debbie. She will make sure that everything you have at your property is covered. If you want it covered, she'll find out if it's covered. If it's not, she'll take care of you. A lot of people find out after the hurricane hits that a lot of things they thought were covered were not, and then they're stuck after the storm. And when you turn on Channel 7 or Channel 10 or the Weather Channel, and you see that hurricane coming down Hurricane Alley during hurricane season, and we're in the zone, it's too late. You need to call Debbie right now. Hurricane season starts June 1st. It's right around the corner. We're in April, people, okay? We're about a little more than about 6 weeks away from hurricane season. Call Debbie right now. If you're an overnight listener, call as well. Leave a message. They will call you back during business hours. 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080. You can do this all over the phone. Call Debbie right now. 954-753-8080. So Mike Pence went on Nightline. I didn't know Nightline was still a thing. Nightline's still on TV. Wow. It's kind of like Route 66 in Cars when Lightning McQueen tells everybody, I was at Route 66, it's still here. Nightline is still here. And who the host is, I don't know. I don't even recognize the guy. Very strange looking guy. But Nightline, they had the vice president on, Mike Pence, and asked one of the most disgusting questions I've ever heard a reporter ask. Listen to this exchange. This is the vice president on Nightline.
When you talk to God in your moments alone, do you find yourself worrying at all that people you represent and care deeply about have died and will die who did not need to because of steps the federal government did not take soon enough?
Wow, what a jerk. Did you get that? So what he said was, do you pray about all the people that have died and all the people that will die because you and President Trump didn't take all the steps that you should have taken early enough? Go listen. Sure.
Talk to God in your moments alone. Do you find yourself worrying at all that people you represent and care deeply about have died and will die who did not need to because of steps the federal government did not take soon enough?
Wow. So, so he says to the vice president, when you're alone in private, do you pray for all of the people that have died and that will die because you and President Trump didn't react? Are you kidding me? Back in January, he did the travel ban. Back in January, he was talking about coronavirus. The left of the media were talking about impeachment. See, that's the new narrative. And I know, is that the most disgusting thing let me tell you, the media are a disgusting group of lowlifes, okay? And I've heard a lot of terrible things come from the media. That's the worst. That is the worst. When the country is reopened, and it will be, anytime someone dies, they're going to blame Trump for it in the media. You know that, don't you? Terrible thing going on here. Now, this was very strange. This was really frightening to me. This next clip, it's in New York City, and to me, this looks like something that I would see in a science fiction movie of the future. You know, you know those, you know how those movies are when they show the future and the whole there's no rights, everyone's being monitored, and you know what you ever talk about? You know how they do in the future in the movies, right? This audio, you may have to turn your radio up a little. I'm going to turn my volume up louder to hear it. I apologize, the audio clarity is not the best, but it's from someone's phone. This was at a park. I don't know which park. If someone knows which park in New York, let me know. This was in New York City. People are walking and jogging in a park. They seem to be maintaining their distance, right? I see people wearing masks and things, but they're walking in a park. And while they are walking, there are drones flying over them with messages about coronavirus and social distancing. I'm making this up. This is the craziest thing I've ever seen. Pretty big drones. Let me play you the audio. This is crazy. Oh, it helps if I turn the on button on. Hold on, let me go back. I got the volume turned up really loud.
Anti-COVID-19 volunteer drone task force. Please maintain a social distance of at least 6 feet. Again, please maintain social distancing. Need help stop the spread of this virus. Reduce the death toll and save lives. For your own safety and your family's safety, please maintain social distancing. Thank you for your cooperation. We are all in this together.
Okay, I know this sounds like something out of Blade Runner or RoboCop or something. And I know the audio is not the best on that, but it's too, I have to play it. So it's a park. It's a park along the water. People are walking. They look like they're maintaining social, so sometimes it's two, like a husband and wife or something, a couple. But from people that aren't part of the couple, they're maintaining, this is Hunger Games. That's exactly right. We're in the Hunger Games here. The drone is what you hear overhead. This is the COVID-19 task force, maintain your distance. We are all in this together. Yeah, I hear that. They say that a lot on Fox. We are all in this together. I don't like that phrase. It's too much groupthink to me. But to have the drone flying over people's heads while they're walking in a park with this kind of message it does seem like RoboCop.
Anti-COVID-19 volunteer drone task force. Please maintain a social distance of at least 6 feet. Again, please maintain social distancing. Need help stop the spread of this virus. Reduce the death toll and save lives. For your own safety and your family's safety, please maintain social distancing. Thank you for your cooperation. We are all in this together.
Wow. I know, is that not out of a science fiction movie? Oh, my goodness. And I think we've seen things like that in movies, haven't we? If you don't do what you're told, Yeah, I know. Pretty frightening stuff. All right, listen, we'll take our last break of the second hour. It's 10 minutes before 8. Show's flying by. My name's Brian Craig. Yeah, if you watch, the video is online. I'm not sure if I retweeted that or not. I'll see if I retweeted that. I can't remember where I saw it. I would think I tweeted that out. The drone was actually flying pretty low over the people that were walking. It was a little off of them, but it was very low, very big drone. You can hear the blades. That's how big of a drone it was. And someone recorded that off their cell phone. But that is hard for me to believe it's real. And it is real. When I first saw it, I thought, well, maybe this isn't real. Let me look. Maybe this is like some TikTok parody someone's doing. But no. That's New York City, 2020. All right, let's take our last break of the first hour, all right? My name's Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. That's right, we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Behind the aging process is exploding. We've come to a point where we can take steps to significantly improve the health and function of our cells. Healthy cells means healthy tissue, means healthy organs, means a healthy body. And healthy bodies do better and live longer. That's right, folks, I said it. Live longer. Life expectancy is increasing in this country, and it is not a coincidence. With simple, safe, and effective therapies such as peptides, we can significantly improve the function and health of your cells, and therefore we are improving your health from the ground up. Sleep better, lose weight, build muscle, have energy, have sex, be in a good mood. If feeling good and looking good sounds good to you, call me, Dr. Mitchell Matez at the Boca Raton Center for Age Management at 561-953-5490. That's 561-953-5490. Or visit our website at hormonetherapybocaraton.com.
We are chatting today with Frank, the owner of 2 magnificent Ace Hardware stores. One, Deerfield Beach, 365 South Federal Highway, about a quarter of a mile south of Hillsborough on the west side of Federal Highway. And the other, Beach Ace Hardware, located at 232 Commercial Boulevard, half a block west of A1A in Lauderdale by the sea. Well, one of the things I noticed when I first walked into Ace Hardware is that you carry such a wide variety of the big brands all under one roof. It's astounding.
Best Ace's new practice is called Best Brands, and under one roof we have major categories. Let me give you an example of 2. Yeti coolers, Craftsman hand spools, Milwaukee hand spools, Steel power equipment, Benmore paint, Weber grills, Napoleon grills, Traeger grills, Big Green Egg. We are a platinum dealer. We have the largest selection of Green Egg products, all under one roof.
Steve
all
Kane
with
Show.
people that are experienced and tell you how to
Steve
use
Kane
the
Show.
product.
There are lots of Ace Hardware stores, but there are only 2 that are advertising with the Steve Kane Show. We're talking about the Deerfield location, a quarter of a mile south of Hillsborough Boulevard on the west side of Federal, and of course the Beach Ace Hardware located at 232 Commercial Boulevard, a half block west of A1A in Lauderdale by the Sea. Very, very special locations. Be sure to mention Steve Kane sent you.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio.
All right, welcome back. I'm Brian. This is the Steve Kane Show, 7 before 7. Oh, look, on the line, social distancing since 1988. Not by choice, because society has thrust it upon him. We've got Jeff in Boca. Hey, Jeff. Yes.
February 22nd, our president said, we have been working very hard with the Chinese. We appreciate their efforts and their transparency.
Okay.
That's all I want to say to you.
So what am I supposed to respond to that? So, okay, so you're suggesting that the president should be able to look into the future and we should judge him based on what we know now, not what we knew then? Is that what you're suggesting? Hello? I can still hear you back there, Jeff. All right, get off the phone, you jerk. I took your call. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my. See, you know, when I make fun of him, social distancing since 1988 because he's all alone, Jeff in Boca, you know, there's a whole class of people like Jeff in Boca that no matter what goes on in the world, it doesn't affect their life, right? Because they're hermits, they don't work, they live alone, they don't have kids, they don't have a wife, they don't have a life. Watching the news and binge watching all day is what they would do any day, every day. So they're just partisan, right? That's all. Everything's into partisanship. Oh man, I tell you, it's just sometimes you've got to move beyond partisan politics. Let me get to a couple more of these sound bites, and then in the next hour we'll get into some new things. I don't like to play clips of Joe Biden messing up, okay? Because I feel sorry for Joe Biden. I'm going to play one, but you don't hear me do it too often. I rarely do it. And I feel sorry for Joe Biden. I do. I mean, he's an American. He was vice president of the United States. And I don't like seeing him like that in his den on television, sounding like an incoherent person, because he's obviously suffering from some type of age-related dementia issue. What it is, I don't know. We may never know, but he's suffering from something. And shame on his family for putting him out there like that. His family should get him off the campaign trail. It's really embarrassing. I'm just going to play one, and I don't play these to laugh. And I really don't appreciate people doing it. This is Biden. He forgot the name of coronavirus.
Well, look, what I have been saying is that he's moving too slow. The virus is not his fault.
Okay, see, he forgot the name of the coronavirus. The corona, and then he changed. And I mean, and there's some that are worse. I mean, that's mild compared to some of his other flubs. I don't want to make fun of Joe Biden. I will not make fun of Joe Biden. It's very sad. I feel he's a victim because he's not of sound mind, and the people around him are putting him out there on the national stage from his den. You know, over one of the press conferences over the weekend, was it Saturday? I think it was the Saturday press conference. A reporter said that, or it might have been yesterday. I watch them every day, so they kind of blend together. It was either Saturday or Sunday. A reporter said to President Trump, Joe Biden just tweeted today about you, whatever it was. And President Trump said, come on. Biden didn't tweet that. He didn't tweet anything. His staff tweeted that. And the press, they don't want to even acknowledge that. God help us if Joe Biden were to become president. See, Joe Biden, there's a reason why they haven't pulled Joe Biden out of this, in my opinion. And the reason they haven't pulled Joe Biden out of this is, well, first off, who wants to run right now? Nobody else wants to do it, except Bernie. He's still on the campaign trail. But if Joe Biden did become president, he is their dream president because he wouldn't be running anything. Everything would be run by his cabinet, his staff, his wife, secretaries. And I don't mean secretaries of departments. I mean like the lady outside the office secretary. And that's exactly what they want. Yeah, they want a puppet leader. A puppet leader. That's exactly what they wanted. They would have it in Joe Biden. Good morning. Nick in Baltimore. You're on the radio. Hey.
First, let me say good morning to everybody in the chat. Gary and Carolyn.
Oh, yeah.
I wanted to just say, I agree with you. I saw that the press conference.
Oh, my gosh, Steve.
The president and when that reporter did that. And in reality, if Biden becomes president, God forbid, it'll be Obama's people who will be running the show.
Well, I think Joe Biden is a victim of elder abuse. And I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not trying to be cute. I don't agree with anything Joe Biden has ever said or done. I mean, he back in the day when he was on fire, he was always a nasty, nasty man, okay? And I don't like Joe Biden. But right now, he is suffering from some type of dementia, and the people around him, including his very own family, continue to put him out there looking like this, and it's sad.
Yeah, it is, and it's a terrible thing that they're doing. And the thing is that these Democrats are they'll stop at nothing to get back in power. They haven't really. I mean, you have Pelosi who thinks she's president.
Well, the thing with Biden, he's their dream president because the people that have been cut off because of Trump, the deep state, the swamp, they would be running the country. The bureaucrats, the intelligence community, the staff. Joe Biden wouldn't be running anything, and this is when the swamp would all come back if Joe Biden were to become president. But I am shocked that there is not organizations like the AARP. I don't know what the organizations are, but there's Alzheimer's organizations and things out there that should be calling on this abuse of Joe Biden to stop. They keep putting him on TV from his den. And now they say they're going to put him out there with a mask on. It's hard to watch. And that's why I don't play the clips. I don't laugh at it. Yeah. All right, Nick, it's 8 o'clock in the morning, but I gotta run. But thanks for the call. I appreciate it. We'll take our break for the top. Steve is here, barely clothed today. It's true. It's true. I have not put the camera on Steve yet. You want the camera, Steve? I don't know. Did you go to the gym? Oh, the gyms are closed, so it can't be a gym. But Steve's wearing it. I've never seen Steve wear what he's wearing today. So if you go on YouTube, just a little plug for the YouTube. Go on YouTube. Coming up, you'll get to see Steve wearing something you've never seen him in before, and maybe we'll never see him in again. But we'll take our break for the top, and when we get back, I stopped by Ace Hardware in Deerfield on Saturday. I want to tell you all about that experience. I was waiting to share my experience at Ace Hardware in Deerfield till Steve joined us, because I wanted to share with him the incredible experience I had Saturday over there at Ace Hardware, the Deerfield location. And we got a bunch more to talk about as well. I'm Brian. You are listening to the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. We'll take our break for the top of the hour, come back with the third and final hour right after this.
3 FM, 96.9 FM, 103.9 FM, and AM 1470. WWNN Pompano Beach is the Florida Money Talk Network.
Brian Craig here with an important message from attorney Barry Siegel. Because of the coronavirus, the Siegel Law Group has had to postpone their live Medicaid and Living Trust workshops. And now, because the issues discussed by Barry in these workshops is even more critical during these times, you can now get the same great information from the comfort of your home in a safe manner. Call the Siegel Law Group right now, and they will send you the workshop video for free. You can also set up your free phone and online consultation. Don't procrastinate. Call the Siegel Law Group right now at 855-FLA Estate. That's 855-352-3782. So you can learn what you need to know.
What? Social distancing? Social distancing? Yeah. Social distancing.
been
Yeah.
forced to neglect their feet. We at the Soul Authority are making it possible for you to still take care of your feet while remaining in your home, as we will send a doctor to your house for all of your podiatric needs. The best part of all is that Medicare pays for this visit. So, if you're a Medicare recipient, give the Soul Authority a call today at 954-597-7060. That's 954-597-7060. Don't let social distancing stop you from taking care of your feet. Call the Soul Authority today.
This is Lori Kane, and I want to tell you about Brighton Dental Care. I just had a lot of work done, and I avoided going to the dentist for a lot of years because I was afraid of the cost. But I went to Brighton Dental for my free consultation, which, by the way, he offers to all Steve Kane listeners. I had 2 cavities, I needed a crown on top and a crown on the bottom. If I were a horse, they would have put me down. So I scheduled my appointment for the next Saturday because Brighton Dental has Saturday appointments available, and they saved me a ton of money. And I will be a patient for life. Don't let cost stop you from taking care of your teeth. Brighton Dental gives Steve Kane listeners incredible discounts on all dental procedures, just like
I'm not telling you guys.
Prices are so
I'm not telling you.
You don't have to worry about the cost. So call Brighton Dental today at 954-922-4633. That's 954.
I know, the anticipation.
4633. You can visit them.
The numbers are going through the roof.
And tell them Lori Kane sent you.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Avoid probate with a revocable living trust. $350 for single people, $450 for married couples. When you complete your trust with attorney Barry Siegel,
Not a suit, I'll tell you that much. Not a suit. They're asking what you're wearing. They're all asking in the chat room what you're wearing. They're asking in the chat room what you're wearing. They're guessing. The numbers are going through the roof. We're getting everybody. Yeah, it's
You are listening to South Florida's longest running
Shorts.
radio show, The Steve Kane Show. To call the show toll free, dial 1-888-GO-CANE.
Tube top.
That's
Tube top.
1-888-GO-CANE. 1. And now.
Oh, these guesses. Not a suit. Oh my goodness, these people are terrible in our chat room. Oh my gosh. Good morning, good morning.
Good morning, sir. You awake?
No. No. You okay? I don't know. I'm just now. I will say that I went in. This is an amazing experience. I went over to Ace Hardware, the Deerfield Beach location, on Saturday morning, and it's actually I had an experience at Ace Hardware, and I went to the Deerfield location. Is located just south of Hillsborough Beach Boulevard on the west side of US 1 Federal Highway. You can't miss it. It's a place with all those beautiful grills out front. You can't miss it. The experience inside Ace Hardware is absolutely amazing, Steve. I got to tell you, you will never ever see me in one of those the big name brand places anymore. Lowe's, Home Depot. Everybody knows what they are. Don't have to use code words. It is an experience like it. First off, when you go into Ace Hardware, they immediately ask you if you need help. If you do, what are you looking for? And I got help like I couldn't believe. And actually, they saved me a lot over there at Ace Hardware in Deerfield. Well, the project changed. When I went over there and got some expert advice. And what had happened is I wanted to paint my house for quite some time. And last week, I pressure cleaned my house. And there were some spots on the house that had these huge stains. Some of them water stains, mold, mildew stains on the concrete of the outside of the house, and I couldn't get these things off. I've been to the store. I bought this cleaner. I bought that cleaner. I had the pressure cleaner out, and they're still there. And what my plan was I give up. I'm just going to paint the house. So I go over to Ace Hardware and ran into one of the guys that works over there, and he said, "Well, what are you here for? What you looking for? What do you need?" And all this stuff. And I said, "Well, I have these huge stains. I mean, these are really huge on certain parts of my house. I've tried everything. I can't get them off, and I'm thinking I'm just going to repaint the whole house because I can't get rid of these stains." And he says, "Well, what are they? Is it what kind of stains are they?" And I said, "Well, it's mold and mildew stains." And I said, I've used every cleaner. I've been out there with the scrub brush. I've got the power washer and everything. He says, no. He says, follow me over here. And he took me over to this cleaner that they have. And let me tell you something. I've been to other stores before Ace Hardware was with us. I have tried so many things. He said, use this. He says, use this. He says, all you do is you hook this up to your house. I mean, hook this up to your hose and spray it on the parts of the house that have the stains, and they'll go away. And I said, come on. Because I've tried everything. And I said, okay. I said, if it works, you've saved me a lot of work, because painting the whole house by myself is a lot of work, especially this time of year when it's hot outside. And I said, oh, by the way, while I'm here, let me pick up some paint for the trim, though, because I want to make sure at least I go home with the paint for the trim. So, and he asked me these questions that I never even occurred to me. He said, do you want flat? Do you want satin? Do you want gloss? I didn't even think of these things because on the outside of the house. And he says, well, no, he asked me some questions about the house. He said, well, this is what most people would get in your situation. And then he also pointed me to the right brushes, which I'm thankful that he did, because he got me the right paints and the right colors for the trim. And then he got me the brushes. I went home and the brushes did perfect. But anyway, these stains on my house that I have tried for months to get off, I have spent a fortune on cleaners. I hooked this cleaner up to the hose, gone. I mean, gone. And I made one mistake. I didn't take a before picture, because I didn't think it would work, because I've tried so many different things. So next time it happens, I'll take a before picture. There was one stain on the back of my house from mold and mildew. It was on the back of the house, so you didn't see it from the front, but it was behind my daughter's window, and it just drove me nuts. And I had been out there. I'd pressure cleaned this about 6 times. I've tried every cleaner known to man. I bought scrub brushes and everything, and nothing. And I just hooked this up to the hose. I sprayed it on it, and it was gone. And I did it on the rest of the house too. And I don't need. All I have to do now is paint the trim of the house. It saved me from painting the whole house. And the house, it looks great. It looks like new, because it cleaned everything off. But there were at other areas with stains. I couldn't believe just by spraying this cleaner on with the hose. I never would have dreamed. And let me tell you, okay, I've had this problem for Ace Hardware's new with us. They've been with us about a month here on the Steve Kane Show. So months ago, I went to Home Depot and Lowe's and got the stuff they recommended, and it did nothing. Okay, I'm here to say did nothing. And what they recommended at Ace Hardware did it. It took about 5 minutes, and it was effortless, because I just had to screw it onto the garden hose, and not even the pressure cleaner, just the garden hose, and spray the garden hose through this, and it was unbelievable. Now, I know that's just one thing, but I think you'll find anything you're working on, any issues you have, when you go to Ace Hardware over there in Deerfield. Also, you can go to the Beach Ace Hardware location too, but the Deerfield location is closest to my house, so that's where I shop. It was I just couldn't believe, and it saved me a lot of hassle and a lot of work, because painting the house by myself would have probably taken me 2 or 3 weeks, and it's pretty hard work, because I got a rough finish on my house, so it's very difficult to do, and I was just grateful. And I never would have taken care of this if it wasn't for the guys over at Ace. And it was just a guy in an aisle that works over there. They're all experts for the helpful hardware person, I think now, or something they say. They don't say man anymore, but it's unbelievable. So anyway, listen, no matter what project you are working on, when you go over to Ace Hardware, and there's 2 Ace Hardwares that are advertising here on the Steve Kane Show. Okay, I'm going to give you the information on both right now, but the Deerfield location, which is, again, just south of Hillsborough Beach Boulevard on the west side of US 1 Federal Highway, and Beach Ace Hardware, which is at 232 Commercial Boulevard at Lauderdale by the Sea. I've never had an experience like this in a hardware store. You guys should definitely go over there, no matter what project you're working on, and they will help you out. Both locations, their addresses and phone numbers, if you have any questions, listed at stevekaneshow.com. So anyway, just a great experience. I'm so glad. And oh man, I wish I would have taken that before picture. I'd had so much bad luck. I figured it's not even going to work, but it does. So anyway, so how was your weekend, Steve?
I spent the entire weekend social distancing. I've gotten really good at it now.
What does that mean?
Anti-social.
Oh, yeah.
The idea of talking to a person is frightening to me.
Well, that's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. You're going too hardcore.
It's over.
Almost.
Almost over. And just like all my prayers were answered, things were going to get back to normal. And it's been quite an experience.
Well,
Even if the captain who was fired from his court-martial,
he's not court-martialed yet. He might be.
well, what do you know of the story?
You're talking. Well, what Steve's talking about is the captain of the aircraft carrier, the Theodore Roosevelt, that was fired by the Navy. For the main thing he was fired for was he wrote this 5-page letter to the Navy Department or the Pentagon or both, or maybe it's the same thing, I don't know, about guys on board his ship that had coronavirus, and he leaked that letter to the press.
Why did he do that?
Because he's an insubordinate officer, and he broke the rules. That's why.
You were his defense attorney.
Well, I'm not his defense attorney. I'm not his defense attorney. I do not know. He's an idiot. What he did was wrong. I do know the story. He sent this letter that was apparently very, very rough, attacking the Navy, attacking the Pentagon for not handling things the way he thinks they should be handled.
What was the Navy not doing that he wanted them to do?
He wanted the ship docked, I guess, and wanted everyone taken off the ship.
Okay.
And he didn't feel the Navy was doing that fast enough. So he leaked confidential, classified information to the press, like Comey.
Before he's in a position where he was forced for the welfare of his men, for whom he's responsible, before he was forced to take that step, what had he done prior to that?
Other than write the letter, not much that I know of. Well, I don't. Tell me, Steve, if I don't know. That's all I know so far. He did some other things too that were screwed up, but the main thing he did. Oh no, there's a few thousand on an aircraft carrier. 3,000 to 5,000 are typically on an aircraft carrier. At the time he left, I think it was about 100.
So you think there was a problem?
On the aircraft carrier? Yeah. There were people with coronavirus on the aircraft carrier, and they have to take care of it so that the aircraft carrier can stay in operation.
Do you know?
Am I being interviewed? You keep asking me. You've asked me like 20 questions. What's the? What? I'm the only one talking. You're just interviewing me. Well, what? I don't understand what your position is, because you haven't told us.
My position is, first of all, we don't know for sure how much danger the ship's crew is in, but I have a feeling by the time the whole story is out, you will find that he acted in the interest of his people.
Well, that's no, not at all. Not at all. Yeah. Yeah.
The Navy will probably end up the upper echelon.
Yeah.
Whoever it was that neglected this thing, fall to such desperate measures.
Oh, you're totally wrong on this one. He's going to probably he's probably going to end up court-martialed.
Did you see when he left? There was a massive crowd.
No, they didn't show a crowd. I heard some guys clapping.
When he was walking down the gangplank, and there was a long shot.
Of him walking down, yeah.
Right, and crowds all around and chanting.
I didn't see the crowd. I heard chanting. But who cares? Who cares that sailors were cheering him? I'd feel the same way. A couple things I'll tell you. No, I'm very well informed. I know what's going on. A couple things here, okay, about this guy. First off, the men with coronavirus on that aircraft carrier are safer than if they were on an aircraft carrier that John McCain was landing on in Vietnam. Remember he did cause that big problem? No, I'm not changing the subject. I wasn't talking about John McCain. I just made a joke, Steve. I made a comment about John McCain when he calls that fire on the on the aircraft carrier in Vietnam almost sunk a carrier, and a lot of men were burned and killed. This is what he did that was wrong. Okay, it is a nuclear aircraft carrier, the Theodore Roosevelt, a very big one. Aircraft carriers travel in fleet groups. It was deployed in Asia. Okay, so it's dealing with things like North Korea and China and all these things over there. He leaked out classified top secret information about the possibility that an aircraft carrier in that area may not be military ready. So he violated. No. He did two things. He broke the chain of command. That's what the military says, by leaking this information to the press, which he did leak. Two, he leaked classified information about the military readiness of the carrier and the fleet group in the U.S. Navy in that area. So that's some pretty bad things. In fact, last week, when Trump came out with the Pentagon chiefs and talked about this huge naval maneuver around Mexico, I think that was a direct result of this guy. They wanted people around the world to know that the military is still operating. The other thing the captain did is during this coronavirus, he infected his own men. He got his own men infected. President Trump, was it President Trump or one of the military people that talked about this the other day? I think it was Trump mentioned this in one of the press conferences over the weekend. But if it was one of the military people, it was one of the military people. During the coronavirus outbreak going on, which is hardcore in Asia, this captain had the brilliant decision of docking the carrier in Vietnam and letting his men off the boat to go on shore leave. And they got infected in Vietnam and brought it back on the ship. So he screwed up a couple of times. He screwed up in three ways. One, during the coronavirus outbreak in Asia, he let his men go to shore leave in Vietnam, which is where they picked it up at. That's what the president said over the weekend. Two, he violated the chain of command, according to the chairman of the Joint Chiefs. And three, he let classified information out about the readiness of the United States military. I can't take many more questions, Steve, because you asked me about 30 right in a row. No, I've just answered them all. All right, you can say that if you want. We'll leave it up to the callers. The Navy. Yeah. No, negligent, no.
We've got enough information out to the audience. When we get back, we're going to take calls. If you would like to make some attempt to bring my partner back to reality. I've set the table, and if you would like to, kind of bring him back to reality, give us a call during the break. We'll go to your calls directly after the number 1-888. Go K-A-N-E as in Kane. 1-888. Go Kane, and then the number 1. We'll be back with your calls right after this. Chatting today with Frank, the owner of 2 magnificent Ace Hardware stores. One, Deerfield Beach, 365 South Federal Highway, about a quarter of a mile south of Hillsborough on the west side of Federal Highway. And the other, Beach Ace Hardware, located at 232 Commercial Boulevard, half a block west of A1A in Lauderdale by the sea. Well, one of the things I noticed when I first walked into Ace Hardware is that you carry such a run.
Well, it's just the first time. I won't do that every time.
Astounding.
That takes this new practice. It's called Best Brands. And under one roof, we have major categories. Let me give you an example of two. Yeti coolers, Craftsman hand tools, Milwaukee hand tools, Steel power equipment, Benmore paint, Weber grills, Napoleon grills, Traeger grills, Big Green Egg. We are a platinum dealer. We have the largest selection of Green Egg products, all under one roof. All with people that are experienced and show you how to use these products.
There are lots of Ace Hardware stores, but there are only 2 that are advertising with the Steve Kane Show. We're talking about the Deerfield location, a quarter of a mile south of Hillsborough Boulevard on the west side of Federal, and of course the Beach Ace Hardware located at 232 Commercial Boulevard, a half block west of A1A
Vietnam.
in Lauderdale by the sea. Very, very special locations. Be sure to mention Steve Kane sent you.
Hi, this is George Corey of the Soul Authority. In this time of social distancing and sheltering in place, many people have been forced to neglect their feet. We at the Soul Authority are making it possible for you to still take care of your feet while remaining in your home, as we will send a doctor to your house for all of your podiatric
cover up.
needs. The best part of all is that Medicare pays for this visit.
You gotta cover
So,
your
If you're a
mouth.
Medicare recipient, give the
You gotta
Soul
cover
Authority
when
a
you
call
cough.
today at 954-597-7060. That's 954-597-7060. Don't let social distancing stop you from taking care of your feet. Call the Soul Authority today.
Feeling old, tired, run down, struggling with your sex life or weight control? Dr. Matez can fix it. Call the Boca Raton Center for Age Management at 561-953-5490 or visit their website at brc.
I'm not sure. I don't remember his name.
Listen
Well,
to
coming
the
back.
Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WW.
All right, so we're back. We're back. No, the captain should have been fired. Okay. It's not... Steve, when it doesn't matter if the Navy wasn't reacting properly or not. When you're an officer in charge of a ship, it's not up to you to make that decision and go public. Not in charge. Due to his own incompetence, possibly. Well, we don't know that they weren't taking action. No. He wrote this letter. See, he pulled a Comey. He wrote this letter to the Navy. And Trump, it's very interesting what Trump said about this over the weekend. He said, why didn't he call? He could have called his superior. They've said he didn't. They said he just sent this letter, this 5-page letter. They said he didn't call. It doesn't matter. It's not up to him to go public with that kind of information.
I would suggest to you, for your consideration, that the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of sailors applauding him as he walked off the vessel, I would suggest...
Doesn't matter what they think. No, Steve, it's not their ship. I mean, this isn't the Bounty. Okay, where they can just decide, well, we don't, these breadfruit plants, enough. We're going to do what we want to do, This guy's it's like a mutiny is what you're talking. It's not up to this. Yeah. Yeah. It doesn't matter what the sailors think. Yeah. 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 It's not up to the captain or his men to decide. It's not their ship. It belongs to the Navy, and it's up to the chain of command to decide. Steve Kane Show.
If you would like to put in your 2 cents,
Okay.
if you can...
I think you're the one who needs straightened out. I told you not to bring this up this morning. Because I don't need to be right. I think I'm right, but I think it doesn't make you look. I think your position is a very strange position. That a captain can decide that he's his own Navy and can do what he wants with his ship and leak classified information. Doesn't matter what the Navy was doing. No, if they were doing nothing, which I don't think that's true, but yeah. Steve Kane Show.
Echelon was
Steve Kane Show.
endangering the life of
Hold
the
on.
crew.
I don't know about I'm talking in these circumstances. I know what's been reported because I've been watching this. Yeah, sure, the Trump-hating press are reporting that. I don't believe the Navy was doing nothing, but let's say they were. If the Navy was doing nothing, the captain was wrong. It's not his ship. There's a chain of command that he has to answer to, and yeah, we'll take him. Well, I'm trying to save you from the calls. I don't know what the callers are going to say, but I predict you're going to have no luck with the callers either. Anyway, you're on the radio.
Hello.
Yes, I'd like to make a comment. Steve, in the Navy, there's a chain of command, and they do not leave their soldiers and Navy personnel, which I was on, to die. They may be slow because it's a big organization, but the captain has no right to go outside the chain of command. End of the story. If everybody did that,
And slow down there, because you were in the Navy. What the captain did beyond that was leak out classified information about the readiness of an aircraft carrier and probably an entire fleet group in an area close to North Korea, close to China.
So in other words, the captain, that is
No,
a terrible,
no,
I just
in
realized,
other
what
words,
Brian is saying is,
you
the
follow
captain,
the
hold
chain of
on,
command.
the captain interceded here so that his boat could get involved in combat with a sick crew dying, right?
That's why they're your superior officers.
Basically, the captain mutinied in a way.
That's all I got to say to you today.
Steve Kane Show.
All right, thank you very much.
Hold on. I told you you're not going to get sympathy from the callers today. Let's try another one. Good morning.
Yeah, this is Ricky. Hey, Steve, you're wrong with this one.
Okay, go ahead. Let me ask you a question. Richie, how much do you know about the case?
I know about the military.
Well, I didn't ask that. How much do you know about the
But
case?
This is the thing. If he takes his ship and it was the Philippines, I believe, or Vietnam, knowing there's a major outbreak.
We don't. There's no evidence of that. We don't.
Yeah, Trump said so. Trump said on Saturday he gave his men shore leave in Vietnam, and that's where they got it. Trump said that Saturday.
The ship, and that was bad judgment.
He
never
infected
should've
the
docked
ship. He was trying to stop the infection of the ship.
No, he took them to Vietnam where they got infected, according to the president.
He knew that there was an outbreak in China, and he knew it, and he brought his men in.
All right, I'll listen. I appreciate you. Go tell me how you know that. I mean, why would he do that?
What he wanted. You ever go out and see for a long period of time? You don't want to sit out there forever. They usually bring the guys in to give them a treat.
Even if they're infected with a deadly disease?
That's why he's on the outs.
He took them to Vietnam. No, Steve, no, hold on. We don't know that the Navy was taking no action. They got an aircraft carrier with over 3,000 guys far away. I'm sure they were taking some action. Richie, what this guy did was leak classified information about the military readiness of an entire aircraft carrier fleet group.
Was it ready?
Yes, it was still combat ready. Not one pilot was sent. Steve, Trump came out with the Pentagon chiefs, with the Joint Chiefs last week about this huge maneuver on each side of Mexico. Was all about this. The chairman of the Joint Chiefs says the military of the United States is ready. We are there. We're prepared. That was all because this guy was. No, it was not a cover-up. There was no cover-up.
Can I ask you a question? Of course.
Were you watching CNN this weekend?
Knowing that, first of all, there's no way they could get that virus on a ship unless they docked it. And they docked it. And so that's the bottom line. He infected half the ship.
Yeah, it's his fault. They got it.
You think he did this purpose?
Incompetence.
Judgment as a captain, you don't do that. If you knew, would you have your guys take a weekend off in a place where you know there's a disease?
Well, this guy did. This captain did. And who cares that his men were... Doesn't matter. Hey, Richie, Steve seems to think it's relevant that some guys from the crew were applauding him when he left the ship.
What do you make of that? Richie, what's your reaction? Why did that happen?
Why did that happen? Because he probably was a nice guy, and they probably loved him. But it doesn't make him a good captain.
It doesn't matter that they were applauding him. Who cares?
Well, to me, I point to that, Richie. I point to that, the applause, as a symbol of what has not come out yet in the case.
Steve, this is a United States naval vessel, not some hippie college Vietnam protest. You can't do that.
You think there's going to be an investigation?
Oh, yeah. He's facing charges.
Why would there be an investigation since it's so open and shut that this guy just knowingly infected us?
Due process, Steve?
President Trump when there was nothing there, and they'll do this to damage Trump.
What evidence do you have that partisan politics is part of
Exactly.
this?
You know, of course, Biden right away says, I would have given this guy an award. This is all partisanship.
Biden said what?
I'd give him an award rather than fire him.
That's what. Hold on. That's what Biden said.
Yeah, I'd give him a medal. He was on Sunday.
Yeah, the captain.
So all of a sudden, okay, all right, I see. So all of a sudden, after spending the better part of a couple of months mocking Biden and saying that he's
Got a break.
incompetent, senile old fool, now all of a sudden he's the authority on what happened in this case, right?
Well, they had him on. They had him on Meet the Press. And I guess that's one of the questions.
All of a sudden he became
What's he going to get a medal for? For getting his crew infected, Richie? We got a break.
Richie, thank you for your contribution. We'll be back right after this.
Lori Kane, and I want to tell you about Brighton Dental Care. I just had a lot of work done,
Steve Kane
and
Show.
I avoided going to the dentist for a lot of years.
Steve Kane
because
Show.
I was afraid of the cost. But I went to
Hold on.
Brighton Dental for my free consultation, which, by the way, he offers to all Steve Kane listeners. I had 2 cavities. I needed a crown on top and a crown on the bottom. If I were a horse, they would have put me down. So I scheduled my appointment for the next Saturday because Brighton Dental has Saturday appointments available, and they saved me a ton of money.
Richard Pearl, I'm calling. Hey there, Richard Pearl. Hey there, hold on.
Stop taking care of your teeth. Brighton Dental gives Steve Kane listeners incredible discounts on all dental procedures, just like they gave me. Prices are so reasonable, you don't have to worry about the cost. So call Brighton Dental today at 954-9.
There's only one caller on it, so I'll give you what we got to work with here, you know.
633. You can visit them at brightondental.com and tell them Lori Kane sent you.
Hi, this is George Corey of the Soul Authority. In this time of social distancing and sheltering in place, many people have been forced to neglect their feet. We at the Soul Authority are making it possible for you to still take care of your feet while remaining in your home, as we will send a doctor to your house for all of your podiatric needs. The best part of all is that Medicare pays for this visit. So, if you're a Medicare recipient, give the Soul Authority a call today at 954-597-7060. That's 954-597-7060. Don't let social distancing stop you from taking care of your feet. Call the Soul Authority today.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by Attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search WNN.
All right, and now for the what many people consider to be the highest energy, most entertaining portion of the Steve Kane Show. If you're a collector of precious metals,
No. We got Richard Pearl on the line now. Youngerman's the next break. This one's a high point too.
quick switch. Well, I bet you Richard Pearl has an opinion on this. Richard, what's doing?
Well, I'm the other high point, I guess. There's a lot to talk about. I'm just going to cover a couple brief things. This last Saturday, I went in great detail about some of the virus-related issues, and so I'm going to deviate from that. I'm very optimistic about this thing ending soon. I'm long the market. I'm long gold. I was a broker during the '87 crash, so I see things with different eyes. And I was in Sierra Leone with Ebola, so I see, outbreaks and pandemics a little differently. I think we're closer to the end of this nightmare. The biggest thing that you can take away from this, though, is that you're in control of your health. I see up to 250 people a day, and even so, I have zero fears of getting the virus. I'm sure, just statistically, I've got to have been, in front of people who've had the virus. I've built my terrain. I take a lot of supplements that keep me well. There are so many people that come to me who are doing fabulously well. They have been exposed to people, and they're fine. They have no side effects. I ship to people. There are people that have had symptoms. I ship to them. They're getting getting better really well. I'm not making promises. These are just experiences that I've seen. There are a lot of supplements that we have at Simply Natural that'll strengthen you. There's too much fear out there. A lot of it's unwarranted, and the reality is that the models that they're using are faulty. So a lot of the projections of these terrible things to happen to so many Americans aren't going to play out. There are people who are going to die, but there are people who die from the flu, and we don't panic the same way. We got so many people who die from heart disease, but we don't shut down McDonald's or anything like that. So we have to look at things with different eyes in the future, and not to panic and not to be caught up on what's on television. I have supplements that will boost your immunity. That's the key. I've got all the medical people coming to us. We've got so many cops coming to us. They know that Simply Natural has a way to help them, at least to build themselves up. So if you want to reach us, we're open after 11 a.m. Monday through Sunday. I'm open 7 days a week, and I'm putting in about 100 hours a week, and I'm 59 years old, and I'm not nervous at all about this.
What's the address over there?
Huh?
Give them the address, how to find you.
Yeah, it's 8271 Sunset Strip in Sunrise. We're on the northeast corner of Sunset Strip. And if you want to reach us, call us at 954-741-4045. One more time, 954-741-4045. There's a lot of people out there who are that are unsung heroes, who are out there, they're in businesses, that are putting themselves on the line, and we should all appreciate them because they're the ones who are taking the risk, and they also are supplementing in many cases
Believe
to
you
improve
me,
their health.
believe you me, the listeners appreciate you. I can tell you that firsthand. By the way, if you need a phone number in connection with that, 561 area code 237-5009. Rich will talk tomorrow.
Yeah, that's
all
not
right?
my number. Yeah, that's not my number, but I will tell you.
Well, wait, let's straighten this out. That's not your number? Okay.
No, it's 954-741-4045. Anyway, we'll talk again tomorrow. Everybody be safe, be happy, look forward to the future, and don't let the scare tactics control you.
Take care, my friend.
That's right.
Talk tomorrow, all right?
All right, cool.
All right.
Oh man, I think the audience is just upset with you. I just think they're upset with you, Steve. You're wrong on this one. No, you can't. Everybody can't agree all the time.
So obviously, since it's so open and shut, there's going to be a quick case.
No, well, they say he could be facing charges. He probably will.
Could be facing charges. But then again, it's open and shut. I mean,
It is open and shut. He leaked the information to the press.
we're not going to be talking about this case 6 months from
Yeah, when he goes to trial, they'll probably put it in the news.
now. It's open and shut.
Well, this has to be a trial.
Yeah. But I mean, it's not going to prolong unless it comes out that there's a conflict.
Like, I'll give you an example. Okay, like your son's going to be a tank commander, right? So say he's off in Afghanistan or something with his tank group, and he encounters some things, and he doesn't think the Army's handling it well enough. It's not up to him to contact the media to tell him, I'm over here in Afghanistan with my tank group, and I'm unhappy with the Army's handling of the situation. You just can't do that.
The situation is plain and simply described, there's cause for concern.
It's never up to anyone in the military to leak anything to the press, under any circumstances.
The question is, if you go through normal channels, and normal channels, for whatever reason, doesn't want it to go upstairs, whether it's to cover their own incompetence or what, at what point
Never.
is it your responsibility?
Never. In fact, you don't know. It's not up for him. Okay, let's say, which I don't believe this is true, but let's just say the Navy did nothing after his 5-page letter, which, okay, did nothing. If whatever they do or do not do, it's not for him to judge. There's a chain of command, and it's up to the Navy Secretary, up to the admirals to decide what should or should not be done in any situation, including this with his aircraft carrier, not his.
So basically, what you're saying is to bring up the parallels with the Kane Mutiny Court Martial, which is a work of fiction. Actually, it might have been
I think it was a total work of fiction. The Kane Mutiny, yeah.
Assuming
Steve
it
Kane
was
show.
a total work of fiction. But you think there's no, you think Queen was right?
I was answering the phone, so I didn't hear the end. Who was right?
Using the comparison with the Kane Mutiny court martial in the play, the movie, which pretty much everyone is.
No, Fred McMurray was wrong. I think, in the end, that's why, yeah.
Queen was right.
You can't make a comparison to this situation in Humphrey Bogart. Well, one was real, one's fictitious, and one involved a storm, action during a storm in the Kane Mutiny. So there's nothing even to compare. I can't compare the two. Okay, all right. You're on the radio.
Turn your radio off,
Steve Cage.
please. Hello? Turn your radio off.
Make your comment. Turn my radio? Okay. I'd like to make a comment.
Go.
When Antifa goes out there and does something wrong, they get 50 guys that applaud them. That don't make them right. And the same thing with the guys on the ship. They were just as wrong as the captain. They had the same views, so they applauded. But that don't make them right. Like it don't make Antifa right.
Let me ask you, caller, do you think this captain of the Theodore Roosevelt is a Democrat or a Republican?
Oh, definitely a Democrat.
Yeah, that's right.
Definitely. Well, I stake my life on it.
Well, that's,
I'll bet you a couple
whoa,
bucks.
boy. That's heavy duty stakes.
What makes you say I agree with you, he's probably a Democrat. Why do you think he's a Democrat, the captain?
You go to the news?
Yeah, that's right.
First of all, it was his fault. Second of all, he had to chain
Whoa,
of command.
whoa, what did he do?
Took them to Vietnam.
A chain of command takes a long time sometimes. But he could, listen, there's 5,000 people on an aircraft carrier. So 100 people is
Triple
not a
it. It's
big
in the
deal. You
description.
can quarantine 100 people. That's what he should have did.
But it was 100 and evidently they were not taking
I
steps.
don't care if there was 500.
You don't care how many people died. And if
No one died. No one died.
If your kid was serving in the Navy,
Tough.
was on the ship, you'd feel the same way?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're talking about a mutiny. This captain was basically a mutiny.
Like you're going to stick your finger in your butt and cry.
That's cute. That's cute.
Come on.
But
See,
this
you're
is,
taking
you
a
said,
look at, my opinion, you're taking a real liberal look at this. You know why the country's falling apart? Because nobody follows the rules and regulations. They say what they want and do what they want. You see it every day.
Yeah.
You show every day. But it's okay for this guy?
Steve, this is a big aircraft carrier is a big thing. It takes more than a minute to get another aircraft carrier over there, if it's even possible to do it. You know, I'm sorry they weren't moving fast enough for the Captain Bligh here. Or more like Fletcher Christian.
no, you don't know. All right. Hey, hold on, you guys. I have one question to ask both of you. Okay, one question to ask both of you. How many sailors were involved in becoming sick in this story?
They said 100. I heard 100.
I want to give you the benefit and say 200.
Steve Kane
I
show.
said 200. So,
5,000.
all right. And then left unattended. In other words.
No, they have doctors on board. They weren't being unattended. They got a huge medical facility.
Doctors very well.
Personnel on the ship. They got a hospital on the ship.
Exactly. Steve, you know what? If it was 1,000 guys on the ship, the captain was wrong.
Come on, Steve.
If it was 1,000, the captain would have been. If everyone was sick, he would have been wrong.
That's exactly right. Exactly right. There's policy and there's...
And there's also, I was saying earlier, caller, he leaked out by doing this classified information about the readiness of an entire United States Naval Fleet group in the Asian theater where you got North Korea and all this stuff going on. Come on. He should not only should he be court-martialed, I hope they convict him.
What's the matter with him letting out that information?
It's top secret about the military readiness of the.
Was the military ready?
Who said they weren't ready? Who said they weren't ready?
No. When he leaked this out, there was discussion immediately in the press about whether or not the military was military ready. That's why they're doing this huge naval action off the coast of Mexico right now, is because of this guy.
Of course.
They want people to know that the Navy's still there.
Will monitor this story. We'll monitor this
He
story
put a
and
lot of
see.
people in harm's way. He had the opportunity to show leadership and to quarantine them people and still do his job. At the end of the day, you've got to do your mission. That's
Sick or not.
almost of anything, or there's a breakdown.
By the way, just can I ask you one last question? Then we got a break to do the spot that commercial, the introduction for it last break. Do you know what happened there? Do you know any of the details of the?
We got a break. We're running late.
Because I don't. I mean, to the best of my knowledge, the details of the incident.
Well, a lot of it's classified, as it should be. It's military.
So we all agree that you're walking around in the dark?
No, not at all. We know more than enough.
He could have called. Like Brian said, he could have called.
Sent out a 5-page letter that he leaks to the press like Comey.
Of action than calling and writing letters. You could call your superior officers.
All right, we got a break, Steve. We got a break. We don't have time.
Thank you for your call, sir. All right?
All right. He's gone.
Hung up on him. That shows the... All right. We're going to take a break. We'll be back with the Gold Report after this.
Stop paying an outrageous fortune for your tires. They're easy on your budget. Buy your tires at Finley Tire in Market, where they have all the major brands like Goodyear and Firestone at discount prices that absolutely can't be beat. Steve Kane's tires for his Toyota van at the other shops, $175 a tire. At Finley Tire, just $75 a tire. That's a $100
Hey there.
savings.
Okay, Youngerman.
Tires for my daughter Mary's car, $135 at the shops around town. The price at Friendly Tire, only $65. That's a $70 savings per tire. These prices are out the door and on the road. Free mounting and balancing and no added charges. Friendly Tire have a great selection of good used tires too, starting at just $30 for most cars. Call my good buddy Friendly Mike at Friendly Tire. Tell him what you drive and he will give you
It only works if you're here.
right over the phone.
It's only working now because you're taking this bizarre position.
954-977-9445. Online, friendlytire.net.
All right, Youngerman.
All right, it is time for the Gold Report, brought to you by William Youngerman of William Youngerman Inc. William, of course, one of the leading experts on the planet when it comes to the precious metals, and boy, the precious metals have been cooking lately. And if you have been following I'm a little out of it this morning. If you have been following the precious metals, you certainly know how exciting things have been. And hold on one second. Just let me...
All right, got him on the line right now, Steve.
Hello.
Hey.
Oh,
How you
okay.
doing, Steve?
I couldn't find you there. How are you doing? And how is more, and well, not more important, but as important, how are the precious metals doing?
Precious metals are doing very well, doing exactly what why we own them, and that's gold up nicely on Friday, closing out last week at $1,621.80. That was up $11.60 on Friday. Silver was closed out the week at $14.38. Platinum closed out the week at $726. And palladium closed out the week at $2,118. This morning we see oil's doing very well. I mean, the stock market has got about an 800 implied open plus start off the week with, and gold is up $21 or $20.20 right now at $1,642. $1,642 up $20.20 right now. It's been even higher so far this morning. Silver's up 27 cents at $14.65 the ounce. Platinum's up $4 at $730, which has been doing very well, down $78 right now at $2,040. So again, gold pushing towards the highs that we've seen this year. Gold up over 5% just in the last 3 months of this year. So gold's doing very well in comparison to the rest of the financial assets of the world. So again, I'm looking for gold to push towards the record high that we saw in 2011, which was about $1,950. So we'll be up there before long. So take advantage of any dips if you get a chance to.
Now, also, one of the things I want people to know, not only do you sell precious metals at William Youngerman Inc., you also are looking to buy and purchase precious metals as well. Tell them a little bit about how that works.
Certainly, we have maintained a good two-way market for over 50 years in our company of buying almost anything in precious metals, gold, silver, platinum, palladium, whether it's in the forms of jewelry or silverware or any other form. We do purchase it, rare coins, currencies. We also make a big market in all the collectibles and numismatic collectibles. So if you have anything sitting around and you want to turn it into cash, bring it in. Just tell us you're a Steve Kane listener, and we'll be happy to give you a free appraisal. And if you decide to sell it, we give you cash on the spot.
There you go. Now is the time if you're short on cash and would like to turn some of those precious metals into cash from being precious metals. Just drop by or give William a call. He is located at 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca. That's the Bank America building where William is on the first floor. I think William is going to tell you how he's operating. There, I do believe you were going by appointment today. Tell him, William, what's the situation?
Certainly, give us a call at 1-800-327-5010 to schedule an opportunity to get together, and we'll try to service as many customers as possible. It's on a per call basis, so just check in before you come.
William, good talking, and we'll speak tomorrow, all right?
Okay, thank you.
Okay, you take care, and we'll be...
No, we're back. We're almost out of time, so we want to take some calls. We got to be quick. All right, you're on the air.
Hello?
Hello?
Yes, you're on.
Robert from Arkansas, and Brian spot on.
I like that. Yeah, I'm spot on.
Who is spot on?
Me, Brian.
Oh, tell me how.
Go to Will Johnson YouTube page.
Oh, no. All right. No, can't. I can't. I had to let him go. I'll tell you why after. No, he said I was spot on. He said Brian was spot on. But I let him go for another reason. I'll tell you after the show. I don't want to tell you on the air. Well, he was on my side. You could not be more wrong on this one. More wrong.
Wait till the story comes out. By the way, the story will be with us for quite a while.
When the story's over, he won't even be a captain anymore. He'll be a commander or a lieutenant commander, maybe. Oh, the Navy SEAL? Yeah, it'll be high profile. They may not pursue charges. Well, I think they will pursue charges, actually, because they want to send a message. Don't break the chain of command. Don't leak information to the press.
The reality is, we really don't have the facts of this case. We have each of our sides.
We have a lot of information.
We're missing.
Steve Kane Show.
The point we're trying to make. I'm just saying, when I saw the reaction.
Yeah. I don't think so, but let's go to Carl. Carl.
Hey, good morning. Hey, I think this Navy captain is kind of like the Navy's version of Lieutenant Colonel Zinman.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
I think he's political about this.
You nailed exactly what we're looking for. Whether
Steve
or
Kane
not
Show.
he is political, and I do know. I think Zinman is political. I think it's going to come out. This guy is not. It's not going to turn out to be
Yeah, he's like Vindman's a great comparison. I wish I'd have thought of that, Carl.
No one like Vindman is going to make it to the.
This. Well, yeah. Well, he's not a captain anymore, is he?
Politician.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this guy just, he made it classified information public. I mean.
Why do you think he did
it?
Because he's a traitor.
Why did he
I
do
don't know. I think he.
Do you care?
I think he's trying. I don't know if he's
Does
trying
it
to hurt
matter?
the president or what.
Let me ask the question again. It must be a good question because you avoided it. Do you care why he did it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there's a glimmer of an open mind.
But it doesn't change the outcome being right or wrong.
Right.
We're not going to know until we know why he did it.
Oh, it doesn't matter why he did it. It was wrong. He had no business doing any of this.
No matter why he did it, there wouldn't be a trial.
No, we have due process. I mean,
He cares about his sailors, but
Oh.
There's a right way and a wrong way.
Brian doesn't believe that.
I think he's political, probably.
You don't believe he cares for
Carl, do you think the captain's a Democrat or a Republican?
Oh, he's a Democrat, big time.
I don't think so.
Yeah, he made his bones. when
I don't think he's
Obama was in
political.
office.
I don't think he's political. I could be
Yeah,
wrong, but we're guessing, right?
To get that high up in the Navy, you got to be political.
Yes.
Political on their side, not political on the other.
Well, he came up through the ranks under Obama, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that explains everything.
Yeah. All right, Carl.
Obama.
All right, let's take one more call before we break. Good morning. You're on the radio.
Hi, good morning. Yeah, Steve, you're thinking in terms of a civilian passion, that type deal. This day and age, sure. I mean, I was in the Marine Corps in the 80s, and I got to tell you, the only thing I'm interested in this, because definitely I'm surprised how right Brian is.
Well, don't be surprised. You don't know what the story. You admit you don't know the story, right?
Oh, no.
Steve Kane Show.
The only thing I'm interested in is actually how many charges are going to be brought up against this gentleman. I guarantee it's going to be at least a dozen. That's how wrong this senior officer was. This wasn't a young lieutenant, but, the Marine Corps, even by then, a young lieutenant, in charge of 1,000 people, it's in his blood that, right and wrong, according to the Uniform Code of Military Justice. He is so wrong. He may have about 14 to 18 charges brought up against him at this court-martial. Steve, there's nothing right about what he did.
It certainly, if you go by the calls this morning, it would certainly appear from the weight of the calls that this guy is guilty.
Yes.
He is so guilty. He's lucky to have.
Steve, it doesn't matter if everyone on the ship was sick.
Do you think there's going to be a
Court martial?
Steve, his career is over.
Well, then there's no point in having a court martial.
They may not have a court martial. I think they will. I think they will. Well, no, because he's facing charges. He could be facing criminal charges.
No, he hasn't been proven
His career is
guilty.
over after the court-martial. Of course, his career is over.
Oh, you're going to give him the benefit of it.
Anytime a captain's fired from the command of a ship. Oh, we're out of time, Chris. It's 9 o'clock.
Tomorrow morning, those who are frustrated and wanted an opportunity to argue with Brian will call in early tomorrow, and you'll get your chance. And until tomorrow at 6 a.m., on behalf of Brian, I'm Steve. God bless America.
95.3 FM, 96.9.